and get seen for my cough. So I am running a little bit behind, but happy to be here and be live nonetheless. Good morning, Nurse Runner. Good morning, folks. So if you are joining me anywhere other than the Tick of the Talk, please say hi in the chat so that I can speak back to you if you say hi on Substack. I will not be able to see you because Substack doesn't have the chat feature intertwined with other platforms, and that sucks. But here we go. Good morning, Endomoon. Glad to see you. Good morning, Only Stuff I Like. Good morning, folks. I am. Hey, Conchita. What's up, Courage to Walk? Yeah, so I am rallying to kind of get myself together to be able to have this conversation today. What's up, Buttersauce? Hey, David. It was fine. Basically, so I had Mila with me, right? And I didn't want to take Mila in, with me to get a chest X-ray. And they were like, "Well, listen, even if you have like pneumonia or whatever, the course of treatment is going to be the same." So I got some steroids on deck, and I got some, some antibiotics on deck, and they said come back in a week if it hasn't cleared up. What's up, Rockin' Nana? Hey, Gumps. Good morning. Hope everybody is doing okay. Gumps, if you want to contact one of the moderators on TikTok to see about getting unblocked, that's probably the best way to do that. I think I saw you say something to that effect in the chat. What's up, Win Dixie? Hey, Mel Gray. Hey, Sandy. What's up, Witch? Indigo Willow. What does my shirt say? Let go to grow. That's what it says. Good morning, Christine. Yes, and definitely needed to do that. She was like, "Yeah, I can hear like when you when you exhale how it's restricted and all of that." And so yeah, so got that done out of the way and good to go. So there's a lot that we're going to talk about. Like, of course, we're going to talk about all the other things that are Mel Gray. I can tell you have not read the board. I can so tell you haven't read the board. But so, yeah, we're going to talk about all the other things that are in the news, and we're going to talk about, things that are happening with Iran, and we are going to talk about, thanks, Deborah. We're going to talk about all of those things too. And one of the things that I really do want to focus on are the things that are coming out of Abdul El-Syed's win in Michigan, and what is that looking like? Which it was fine. Basically, she just said, "Listen, yeah, you're. I can hear it when you wheeze out. I can hear the restriction in the air." And I had Mila with me, so like I didn't necessarily want to take Mila in for the chest X-ray. And she was like, "Listen, it's not going to change treatment." She was like, "You've had this for long enough," and so she just said, whether it's bronchitis or pneumonia. We're going to do the course of treatment is the same. And so I already have that, which I already have it and already use it. So yeah, already have it, already use it. So I got all of that stuff on board, and that's that. So, but thanks to everybody for asking and for checking up on me. We are going to dive right in. I'm going to pull up some things. I do have a little bit of exciting information this morning. Are you guys ready? Project for the People is in 49 states instead of 48 states. We have someone who has signed up in South Dakota. So Wyoming, you're the only state that is not represented in Project for the People at this point. So get it popping. Somebody who knows somebody in Wyoming, make it happen. But right now we have folks in 49 of the 50 states. And just when I was doing a quick glance over, I didn't get the chance to finish like reconciling all the data and adding up the counties and all that again. But what I will tell you is it looks like we are well either at or surpassing. We are either at or surpassing. No. 540 counties, which I think is pretty awesome, pretty astounding, right? And so we're gonna go from there. Give me 1 second, folks. I'm pulling up things as we go because, like I said, 8594. So I had a doctor's appointment this morning, so that is why I am live. Finally went to get this. Finally went to get this cough checked and all of that kind of stuff, and got some meds on board. So yay, there we go. All right. We're just gonna ditch that because I don't know anything about it. All right. So y'all doing okay? Y'all good? Everybody good? I haven't been on the Tick of the Talks literally since I ended my live yesterday. So not a lot of chance to see what everybody else is talking about. Don't know what everybody else has got going on. Um, uh, and that's okay, right? Appreciate you boosting, Jamie. So, folks, listen. If you are on TikTok, make sure that you reach up at the top, do daily heart me, and then make sure that you click it again and claim your points so that they count and they don't expire because they're good for 24 hours. I think one of the first things that I want to talk about before we get to the like kind of yucky stuff. Hey, Letty, good to see you. Is the way that the Democratic Party has done what they need to do to rally behind Abdul El-Syed. I think seeing, so I know that Mauro got behind him pretty quick, and I know that, thank you for the bear, and I know that Big Gretch has now gotten on board. Haley came out immediately and said that if he won, she would be supporting him, and all of that. And so I think it's really great to see this example from the Michigan Democratic Party. The Michigan Democratic Party is demonstrating exactly what a healthy, robust primary should look like, and then how the party comes together, regardless of who wins the nominee. And for some people that will say, good morning, Lucid. For some people who will say, yeah, they're going to get behind him now after they were behind Haley. Yeah, that's what a primary is for, right? Love that, Leah. So that's what a primary is for. And you don't have to be the candidate choice of the party, right? But to see the party get behind the person who won the primary. Like, this is literally how a healthy democracy works. When you see 1.5 million people turn out to vote in a primary, it's extraordinary, right? And so I think that it's amazing to see that type of involvement and people being engaged in the process and participating in the process, and then seeing people be able to say, "What's up, Big Daddy D?" And then be able to see everyone else kind of get on board once it's over. I'm not sure who that person is or what that has to do with anything. Have to. So forgive me for not knowing what you're talking about. Oh, gotcha. I had to look. I was like, do you know what I heard in my brain? Who's the actress whose name sounds like that? That's what my brain was reading. Don't ask me why. Yeah, don't ask me why. My brain was Mila Kunis, the girl that is with Ashton Kutcher. You know what I'm talking about. When I read what you wrote, that my brain just went Kunos instead of Kiros. Don't ask me why. Sorry. But so here's my thing. Yes, Nancy G, that's what my brain read. But so here's the thing. So I'm specifically talking about the people that aren't members of the Democratic Party and those folks that chose to get behind it. Yeah, 100%, Dr. Emmy. Same here. Same. No, so Gumps, if you're on TikTok, the mods on TikTok you can reach out to are going to be Cam or LaRonica or Sandy, which one of those folks can help you out. Hold on, let me just see really quickly. Good morning, hospice nurse Shawnee. Salam, the brothers. What's up, Dugal? Good to see you, friend. Y'all, I have to laugh at my mom yesterday because I talked to her last night. Hey, Amira. And my mom was like, girl, I know that you're right. And you have to talk to all different types of people. She was like, but when I listened to the man talk about being okay with the profits for the for-profit prison system and then all the things. And she was like, I just had to go. I couldn't take it. And I just cracked up because it's funny to me. Yeah, I mean, she was like, And then when I And then I shared with her what the rest of the conversation was like. She said, "Oh yeah, no, thank the Lord I left because I can handle it. I don't know how you do it." It's always funny to me. She makes me laugh. It's wild, Dugald, I will tell you. And so I am going to open up the panel for for folks to come in and and have a conversation. And also, da 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 da. I need to drop this link really quickly. So on Twitch and YouTube, there is the link if you would like to join as an in studio, like if you want to join the platform and come like have an actual conversation with me and discuss your thoughts and your ideas and things like that about the subjects, then we can do that. If you are on Facebook, I'm literally about to drop the link in the comments over there as well. So give me a second. We're making it happen. Da 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 da. There we go. Okay. Join the panel. All right. So guys, there's the link on Facebook as well. If you want to join the panel, that is how you do it there. Just so you know. And I do not know if I have the ability to add the link to the chat on apparently I panel. All right, Substack. You have the link to join as well. So look at that. Yay. We love that. Okay, so the link is everywhere. The link is on YouTube, Facebook, Substack, Twitch. Good morning, Mom. And on TikTok. TikTok, you know how to join, right? There's the box right there that says request. There is the little pink and blue people down at the bottom that you can click and also join. And so we want to have a conversation. And so the first thing that I'm talking about is the way that the Democratic Party has rallied behind Abdul El-Syed, and that's great and amazing. And Coco, we don't do Islamophobia here. So if you want to have a real conversation about it, feel free to join the panel. Good morning, Packard. And then I also want to talk about words aren't scary. So one of the things that you've seen immediately with the win of Abdul El-Syed, and you see it especially, you saw it after Mom Dani won, right? And now you're seeing it, double, triple what it was then, because it's another Muslim man, right? What's up, Ja? And so I want to talk about that. I want to talk about these words that they are throwing around now that are supposed to be scary. This Muslim, Islam, socialist, communist, all of these different types of things. And so what I would like to offer you is one word to just replace them all. And it's called racist. or xenophobic, or like pick a different word. What you mean is that it's not a white Christian somebody. That's what you mean. I mean, that's what you mean. We're supposed to be scared because he's more melanated than you would like. Or maybe actually he's as melanated as you would like to be when you go to the beach. Oh my God. Katharos, Coco can't answer you. Coco is blocked, and his friends didn't do 9/11, so that's not even an appropriate like conversation to have. I'm telling y'all, listen, I have absolutely zero tolerance for Islamophobia. I'm not doing it. So if you come in here talking some shit about 9/11 and Islamophobia and all, you're going to get muted, like just like that, because I don't do that in this space. Go somewhere else where you can hate and fearmonger. You won't do it in this space. Okay. I ask for 4 things here, folks. I ask that you be respectful, that you do not use slurs of any kind, that you don't spam my comments and say the same shit over and over again, and that you don't type in all caps, because I've got folks that are vision impaired, and all caps are reserved for those individuals and my moderators. That's it. Okay. So, Kenneth, you know that you don't get to join my panel. It's fine if you sit in here and listen. Yeah, no, you will listen to me. Kenneth, I don't care if Jesus, Buddha, Allah, Confucius, Thor, Zeus, Hades, Diana, Athena. I do not care if all the gods and goddesses stand in this room before me and say, Dani, you should bring Kenneth to your panel. It is not happening. It's not happening. Just so we're clear. I've literally made that as clear as I can possibly make it. And this is why men have an issue. You all don't understand that no means no. Yeah, you don't understand. No means no. I said no. And I meant it. No. So here's the thing, you guys. I was on a panel one time with Kenneth, and that's all I needed. Right? That's it. So, right, want to know is a complete sentence. And so what I choose for me is I choose to not join panels where Kenneth is on them, and I choose to not put Kenneth on my panel. That's it. So, and Kenneth knows why. So that's all on him. I really don't care. Exactly. Agreed. What has them scared is the fact that Mom Dani has shown them that it is possible to take care of his people and fulfill his duties, and he's not ruled by money. 100%. And the thing is, you know what really scares them about that is he has demonstrated it in one of the largest cities in the country, right? And in one of the most diverse cities in the country. And so that's really what's got them terrified is, oh my God, if he can do it in New York, then you can do it everywhere. What do they say? They say, if you can live in New York, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Right? And that's the thing. If you can be a successful mayor in New York, you can be a successful mayor anywhere. Right? And that's exactly right. You good? Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. Yes, Mila. Okay. I already told you. Pick it up, turn around, put it down before it falls. So listen, so let me give you this. So if you are new to me, I only ask for those 4 things that I mentioned earlier. I'm going to bring folks up to the panel. When I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you. We're going to have a respectful conversation. When it is time for you to speak, I'm going to actually greet you. I'm going to say your name. I'm going to ask how you're doing. We'll explain pleasantries, and then we will get into the conversation. Don't come in here hot, because I will cool you off. like being tossed in a damn ice bath. I will cool you straight the fuck off, okay? Good morning, Tim. There's not any, sissy. Tutu has to get some. Here, just eat from here for now. All right. So here we go. So let me just double check. So I'm just going to bring everybody that I've got right now. And then if you didn't mean to request up, let me know and I can absolutely take you back down. Okay. So we will see what we've got popping. Good morning, Kevin. Good to see you, friend. All right, so right now I've got, it looks like folks didn't mean to, and once they realized they were up, they took themselves down. I got that. So I've got Kat, I've got Bobby, and I've got Dazzle. If either of you 3 did not mean to request up, let me know, and I will take you down off the panel. So just let me know. Other than that, good morning, Kat. How are you? Kat? Oh, you didn't mean to? I got you. No worries. All right, good morning, Bobby. What's up?
Good morning. Good to see you always and forever. Happy every time I see your face and hear your voice. But I was just wondering what I can say to people who, because I absolutely agree with you. We vote for the most progressive candidate during the primaries. But what do I say to the people who tell me, but if there are candidates, they'll never beat the Republicans because they're too progressive, blah, blah, blah. You know how they do.
So here's the thing. If that were true, then they wouldn't have won the primary. Right? Like if that were true.
Well, they say that's because it's only Democrats voting and it's not the independents and everybody else that they have to also get.
Yeah, I mean, I just, so for me, it's when did you become psychic?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, when did you become psychic? Because you just don't know, to be quite frank. And the reason is, so let me just say this, you all, some people, try this on for me. Some people are scared to hope again. Some people are scared to get their hopes up only to have them dashed, right?
I'm a little bit afraid.
Yeah, and that's
asking this question.
Yep, and that's natural, and we get that. And so the first thing I would do is just acknowledge that, right? So number one, it is absolutely fair and reasonable to feel like you're scared to be hopeful in the process and in candidates again. Fair. And however, without hope, then nothing else happens. Right? And so this is the point, is that they don't know. And we are definitely in a different time, in a different scenario, in a different country than we were 2 years ago. You all, this is not the same United States of America than it was in 2024.
Yeah, 2024 scared me, hurt me. I was so hopeful before election night. I thought we were gonna win. I really, really did. And when we didn't, I couldn't stop crying for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I hear you. But follow me, we're not the same. I want you to think about the sentiment of the majority of the country around what's happening in Gaza, around the war in Iran, around all of those different types of things, right? So what people are looking at is, here's the thing. The past isn't always the best indicator of where we're going, because if we always did that, then things would never change. And what we know is that things always do change, right? You guys, just let Kenneth alone. I don't know what he's saying. It doesn't really matter to me what he's saying. But let him, listen, if his feelings are hurt, he can just, whatever, he'll be okay. He's a big boy. He's got this. If you see, I address him and then I move on. And then when I move on, he moves on. And so the faster we move on, the faster Kenneth moves on. Okay? So, literally, so Bobby, this is my response to people is that, it is valid to have concerns. And so the question is, what are you going to do to ensure he has the best chance possible? Stop talking about what his chances are. What are his chances if we all do the work to make it happen? And then if you do everything possible that you can to make it happen, that's in your wheelhouse, and then it doesn't, then guess what? You don't feel anything, like there's no regret at the end of that. And so that's the way that I talk to people about that sort of stuff. It really is.
I knew you would have a good answer.
I mean, feel better about it's just the thing. It is scary to hope. It is scary to get your hopes up. And it is scarier not to ever have hope again.
Absolutely agree with that.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, it's just, and I just think it's just being real with people about where we are. And yeah, you're right. We don't have a clue. We do not have a hope in hell if that he is going to win. However, right, we don't know for sure what's going to happen. However, we know what will happen if we don't try. We know what will happen if we don't do our part. We know what will happen. You know what I mean?
Yep. I have one other question. Is I keep hearing people say that because I use Dani a lot to illustrate this point, that people said that he would never win, and look how great he's doing in New York. And I've heard people pushing back with this. He didn't really do anything. All he did was borrow from Peter to pay Paul, or he just pushed it down the line. He didn't actually solve anything. He didn't actually budget. He borrowed money. And I don't understand what that is, what they're talking about, or how to respond to it.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to tell you. So number one, that's not what he did, but I don't use Mom Donnie as an example. And the reason I don't use Mom Donnie as an example is because a lot of opposition that people might have to Abdul is the fact that he's brown and Muslim. So is Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie's DSA, and these are all trigger points and trigger topics for people, right? And so I don't need to use a different candidate and say, oh well, look, it's actually worked before, because we know that it's worked before. We know that we've had people that we thought weren't going to be shit, or that they didn't have a shot in hell, and then they won. I mean, for goodness sake, that would be President Jimmy Carter. Nobody thought Jimmy Carter was going to win the election. And everybody loves the man today, even though he wasn't like an absolute the best president, right? But so I think the thing is that people want certainty because certainty allows them to feel safe. And people are really missing that feeling of safety and security, because there is nothing okay, Rockanana, there's nothing stable or secure feeling about where we are as a country right now, right? So I think it's just really important to just be direct with folks, right? Is when people say he doesn't have I were told he doesn't have a hope, maybe. But here's the thing: what I would, and if people want to talk about Mom Donnie, literally, I would say, okay, so can you share with me, give me your source for what you're saying? Can you give me your source? Share with me what he borrowed and how he borrowed it. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't know. They're just regurgitating talking points that they heard somewhere.
They probably don't understand it any more than I do.
Right. And so that's my thing. It's like, okay, great. So listen, rather than me tell you you're wrong, I'm willing to see what you have to say. So can you show me where you're getting that information? I will always be open to looking at facts. Can you show me the facts that support what you're saying?
Okay.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I will always look at your facts. You want to tell me, let's look at it together. I'm down for that. And if I look at your facts, will you be willing to look at mine?
Absolutely. There's so many times I'm on lives and I'm like, and I might not even be on the panel. I'm not even talking to the people, and I'm just like, oh, I wish Dani was here. I wish Dani could talk to them.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's all. And listen, be real with people, folks. There's no magic answer. It's just having real, down to earth conversations with people and meeting them where they are. So, hope that helps.
It does. It does help. Thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate you. Dazzle, good morning, and how are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Little cough, a little whatever, but I'm good. What would you like to share this morning?
I mean, I'm glad he won. Racism has no price tag, and the reason I say that is to bring it back on what you just talked about. The whole hope thing. There was hope when it was Hillary Clinton. There was hope when it was Kamala. And what I'm trying to get at is when it came to me, okay, here's where I'm at. Like, I don't track any other group, like the voting, whatever track or whatever for any other group other than the white women's voting track record. Like, not that I don't care to see how other groups are voting, but I feel like white women are the only group that control the direction of any election. That's how I see it. When we look at, since they got their right to vote back in 1920, majority of them voted for the Republican Party. And when we want to see, I always ask myself the question of white women don't care as a majority for the collective good when we look at their voting records. And when we look at what is now, I guess, called the DSA party, there is hope, but I am not confident because there was a lot of momentum with Kamala. I was so sure Kamala was going to win. And when that didn't happen, like, I have never felt so shocked. I mean, with Hillary, I was a little bit like, eh. But with Kamala and everything that this Trump dude had shown everybody, and he still couldn't bring himself to vote, like, I was so shocked. So I'm just like at the point where, yes, right now the Democratic Party is moving in the right direction, if you ask me, but I am still so, I don't know, deflated, if you will.
Yeah. So a couple of things to think about. So number one, white women do not determine elections. What determines elections is voter turnout, period, across the board. And I think that that's incredibly important for people to remember. In Alabama, it was specifically Black women that saved them from Ray Moore in 20. Let me see, is that his name?
Is it Roy Moore?
Roy Moore in Alabama. That was specifically Black women voters. 96% of African American voters saved democracy and defeated Roy Moore in Tuesday in Alabama Senate race. So it's not always white women that determine elections. It's not. It is voter turnout in different demographics, right? Yep, South Carolina saved Joe Biden, and so I think it's really important to not pigeonhole us and give one particular demographic all of the power because they don't have it. And let me just say this: if white women were the sole issue, right, we wouldn't have gerrymandering the way we do. They're not gerrymandering white women. They're gerrymandering the fuck out of Black and brown voters, right? And there's a reason for that. So I think that it's really important for us to not do that and to understand that it is massive voter turnout on all levels and in all ways that makes the difference, right? So that's kind of my thing. I track voting. I actually don't track voting based on demographics at all. I track voting based on geography. So I look at the track record of particular counties because that is the most localized level of voting blocks. And then I look to see where those counties share House seats. And then, of course, they will share Senate seats. And, of course, that goes on to all the other federal elections. So for me, it's definitely more valuable. I think that this is a mistake that politics has gotten into where they are appealing based on demographics. That particular tactic and strategy is rooted in racism. And I'm not rooting my strategy in racism. I'm rooting it in community and connection because that's where we win every single time.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with like the logic there. Like, it's voter turnout. Okay, okay. Let's look at Tennessee. Or even I think Alabama. You see how fast they were to like change the seats, the representatives.
They gerrymandered, yeah.
They gerrymandered, and what I'm saying is, there will be no voter turnout in masses if there was increased gerrymandering. Like,
gerrymandering doesn't determine voter turnout.
Well, okay. What I'm trying to get at is if they're passing laws to inhibit the votes of the Black and brown people, like, there is gonna be no voter turnout in terms of the black and brown people.
So, number one, there has been no law passed to do that. There's been gerrymandering that's been done in terms of the maps in different states. That doesn't determine voter turnout, right? So that hasn't happened. And what we see across the board are high levels of voter turnout. I mean, look at Michigan. In this primary, more than 1.5 million people came out to vote in the Michigan primary. That is the most voter. That's the highest level of voter turnout since easily 1998.
Okay, let me ask you, what would be the purpose of gerrymandering?
Gerrymandering is so that you can give a particular political lean to a seat in Congress or in the state legislature. That's the purpose of gerrymandering. Mm-hmm. But it's rooted in racism, because what they do is they assume that if the population is brown or black, then they are going to be liberal or Democratic voters. And so they gerrymander in a way to lessen the impact of that vote. And so the purpose of gerrymandering is a racist practice inside politics that is meant to lessen the impact. But you can't gerrymander an 80% voter turnout. And I know that you can't, because Hungary just showed us that. So in Hungary, where they had a dictator who gerrymandered the hell out of the country, who also changed the constitution, who did everything possible to ensure that he would stay in office, when that country had 80+% voter turnout, they sent him packing. When 80% of the people that are eligible to vote register and they actually vote, you cannot out gerrymander voter turnout.
Okay, as long as they vote in the right way. I get it. Okay, so I think it's more so like the voter ID laws. Those are things that would impact or inhibit people's rights to vote, right? Like the strict requirements and stuff like that.
Right, but so that's the point. Is like the SAVE Act has not been. What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
It hasn't been passed, and so right now, so what can people do? Right, what can people do? People could be smart. People could go ahead right now and get their real IDs, work to get paperwork. There are organizations and there are groups that will actually help you. If you're someone that needs to get a copy of your birth certificate and you are having difficulty doing that, reach out to your local non-governmental organizations that participate in voting, whether that's Black Voters Matter, whether that is, hell, I don't even know all the groups out there, but whoever it is, contact someone and say, hey, I want to vote. And I want to make sure that I have my documents so that no matter what happens, I have my birth certificate, my social security card, my marriage license, my marriage certificate, my divorce paperwork, whatever the hell it is that you need. Now is the time to make sure that you have it. We are 89 days from the midterms, right? So this is the moment. This is the time to begin to get those things together and not leave it to chance. You make a plan to vote the same way you plan to go to brunch with your girlfriends, or the same way you plan to go watch the game with your boys, the same way you plan to go rock climbing or go to the gym. Plan to vote, right?
Okay.
Vote by mail, vote early, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Especially after this last Supreme Court victory, if you will. So where are you at right now in terms of like, what do you see happening? I know you don't know for sure, but just based on your, I guess, your knowledge and, you know.
Yeah, I don't do political pundits. Like, what do you see happening? I'm not Miss Cleo. I tell people that every day. Here's what happens depends on the people. And this is the thing that I want people to get. Like, for somebody to sit up here and say, oh, I see this happening. Listen, it depends on what you want to have happen. How many people are going to get off their ass, get involved in the election, and actually go vote? Because that will determine what happens. When people say, well, what's going to happen and what's this world coming to? Whatever we make it. It is literally up to every single one of us. So what I know is that if we have exceedingly high voter turnout, the Democratic Party, progressives, will come out on the other side of midterms with the majority in the House and the Senate. If we do that.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's talk about socialism. What do you think is the most scary part about socialism?
Socialism doesn't scare me.
Right. It doesn't scare me either. But in terms of like, because I guess nothing is perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm getting at is, I used to live in China, right? I lived there for almost 2 years. I loved the way it operates, right? I love how it cares, like it's community based, if you will. And I know it has its flaws. But what I'm getting at is we live in a society here in America where you have people that hear the word socialism
Mhm.
and they're so scared, right? They're so scared. But what I'm getting at is what problems exist under socialism that do not exist under capitalism?
Yeah. So my thing is, I don't believe that they are. I don't believe that they are there, and I don't think that anybody is promoting that the country just become one whole socialist country, right? This is why I said words aren't scary. Muslim, Islam, socialist, communist. None of those words are scary. And so for me, the question that you're asking me is a question that you should ask somebody who actually thinks that socialism is scary, because it's not to me. You know what I mean? So that's a question for somebody who actually thinks that, because I don't.
Right. I agree with you.
Yeah, thanks,
Anyway,
Dani.
I'm on your side.
Yeah,
We
I
all
don't.
turn
I
on.
think that nobody is promoting, and this is the thing. When we talk about people being scared of socialism, I don't think people are scared of socialism. I think people are scared of what they've been told and taught and programmed to believe socialism is, and there is inherently a little bit of racism attached to that, because the socialist examples that they tend to provide come from black and brown places. And however, had the West not gotten involved and ended those governments, who knows how successful they would have been. So
We need to think, right?
yeah, across the board. So yeah.
Anyways, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I love listening to you, when I can. So
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, you're more than welcome anytime. Have a good one.
Okay.
All right, so folks, when I bring you up to the panel, do me a favor, put yourself on mute until I get to you. I'm down to have any of these discussions, as you can tell. I definitely want to talk. Y'all know me. I like to talk about facts over feelings. And I do think that people are going to have real conversations about these words that the GOP is just going all in on, right? They are absolutely all in on the Islamophobia. And everybody knew that was coming, right? Ernie, you know that that's not what it is, and we do that anyway. So this is what's funny to me. So Ernie said, you want to work and give your hard-earned money away? We do that now to fucking corporations in Israel. We do that now. People work and give their money away, and it goes to corporations and Israel. So miss me with that bullshit. Ask me, would I rather have my money going to feed children and take care of the elderly and disabled and give people health care? Or would I rather have my money going to corporations in Israel? Guess what? It's the first option, Ernie. It's the first fucking option every time. Ukraine is not the same as Israel. Don't act like it is. Do you want to know the difference? Ukraine is defending itself. Israel is committing a genocide. Two different things. We're not comparing apples to oranges here. We're not doing that. We're going to act like we got some sense around here and discuss facts. And Ernie, you come in here every day. So I know that you know better. I know that you do know better. And I do know that you just try to be a distraction. And what you do is you try to do it in such a way so that you don't get muted. And so no, we don't get to start on October 7th. You don't get to start on October 7th. Israel was attacked on October 7th. Would you share with me what did Israel do to Palestine in 1948? You need to go back 80 years. We're not starting today. That's not what we're doing. And I won't let you do it. I won't let you give half-ass misinformation to people and try to misrepresent the facts. The facts are very simple. Anything that Palestinians have done to Israel has been in response to, in defense of their country and their people. Period. All right, folks, when I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you, okay? Jeez, oh, Pete. If I bring you up and you did not mean to request up, please let me know so that I can drop you down. Oof, That's loud. Cam, why did it show you having requested, Cam? And then when I click it, you're not there. TikTok acting crazy. So here's the problem. No worries. Here's the problem with you saying that, Ernie, is you've been in here enough to see all of the actual factual evidence. So I'm just ignoring you. Good morning, Irvette. Good morning, Jody. Good to see you guys. All right. Oh, okay. I got it. Because I was like clicking it because I thought you had something to say. And then I was like, it's not showing her. What is going on? All right. Good morning, Lucid. How are you?
Good morning, Dani. Okay. So I want to have a conversation with you about having a conversation.
Okay.
There's somebody very close in my life that I have tried to speak to about everything that you're about. And yesterday, I think I finally was really fed up, and I finally said, you just need to listen to Dani. And he doesn't have a lot of patience to sit there for the hours on time.
Mm-hmm.
And for context, philosophy is like his forte. So everything that you do and say and provide, he just ties it back to philosophy. And I get frustrated because I'm not a philosophy major. And I said, this isn't about philosophy, it's about politics. Well, he doesn't like politics, and he only hears what his father, who voted for the orange guy, has whispered in his ear. And
I lost you, Lucid. Lucid, we can't hear you. Can y'all hear her? Because I can't hear her at all. Sometimes TikTok be tripping, but I can't hear her at all. No. Okay, Lucid, yeah, come back up. So let me just go ahead. I want to offer you this in case you can't make it back up, but let me just give it to you. So tell your philosopher friend that he should look up these individuals: John Locke, Montesquieu, Cicero, David Hume. All of those are philosophers that influenced the founding fathers. So Locke that's where we get the life, liberty, and justice for all. Montesquieu is where we get separation of powers. Cicero is civic virtue and all of that. So for him to be a philosopher and say, I don't like politics, he's not much of a philosophy individual. So Locke, Montesquieu, Cicero, Hume. Good morning, Boxer Mom. How are you?
Good morning, Dani. How are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Thanks for having me up.
Sure.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
I just kind of want to echo, because I think a lot of us have a lot of fear and concern. I actually do have hope. And the major of that is really coming from what you've created and how you approach people, how you explain things. And I just want to personally thank you for that. You remind me of my dad in so many ways, because you can get a point across you can't argue facts. You know what I'm saying? I guess you can, but it's not going to go anywhere. And I don't know. To me, Dani, I think for the people that are not having a hard time with hope, I would say, I think hope is not believing that nothing bad will happen. Hope is knowing that what happens next has not been completely decided, and that our actions are the things that will decide it. So yes, I think we are allowed to be scared. We are allowed to be furious, but we're not required to surrender to this regime. Oh, excuse me, Dani. I just saw the comments. It's your birthday.
No, it's not my birthday. Nope, it's not my birthday. It's today or tomorrow. My birthday was in May. No, I think somebody was saying that somebody else's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Well, happy birthday to Sophia. That's who did that. But Dani, I just kind of wanted to get your fingerprint because, I live in Oklahoma, right?
Mhm.
And we have one of the worst voter turnouts. And that's where we come up a lot with who my vote doesn't matter. It does matter if you show up. If we show up in enough numbers, we could, if people actually showed up, the stuff we could do to flip this state would be a freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, so when people say my vote doesn't matter, I would ask, when did they begin believing that and who told them that? And the very first thing that I ask when people say my vote doesn't matter, my question immediately is, who benefits from you thinking that?
Oh, that's a great way to put that.
Who benefits from you believing that your vote doesn't matter?
I wrote that down.
Because that, and so I do this a lot. You guys have heard me talk about this when it comes to looking at like media headlines, especially like really inflammatory, emotion evoking headlines. I tell people all the time, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, who benefits from that headline being written in that way? Because then that automatically helps you understand who may or may not be trying to manipulate you, and all of those different types of things. So that's the question, is who benefits from you thinking that? And I keep saying this, this is going to be my new motto. Okay. I've said it maybe 5 times this week. So here's the motto, right? They want you to believe that there is nothing you can do, so that you will do nothing and they get away with everything.
Exactly.
That's this is the clip, folks. This is it in one shot. They want you to believe that there's nothing you can do, so that you will do nothing and they will get away with everything.
Yep, exactly. That's what I keep saying. It's like, if you don't ever hold them in check, why would they change? How are things going to get better if you just throw your hands up? Well, nothing's going to happen. Of course it's not, when you do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the thing. And so, the other thing that people say, what's this world coming to? I always say, whatever we make it. You don't like what you see in the world? Guess what? We made that shit. If you don't like it, I guess we need to do something different. Yeah, I mean, it's just, and people know this. These are things that are common sense. There are other things that are getting in the way of people being able to sit in that. Number one, some people want to believe and say that there's nothing they can do because they don't want to do anything. They don't want to have to actually own their responsibility in the process. Gosh, if I have to admit that my vote and that voting really does matter, then holy shit, I'm accountable for what I do and don't do. And why would I want to do that when I can just blame it on the system and everybody else? Right? Miss Francis, please don't do that. Hold on one second. Miss Francis, you are not the president's physician. Please do not give him a diagnosis in my chat. I'm so serious about this, you all. I said the same thing about Joe Biden, and I'm going to say the same thing about Donald Trump. There is not a single person in here that is the president's physician, right? So do not give him a medical diagnosis as to what you believe he has or don't have. There's actually a thing for anyway, don't do it, because number one, it's not even relevant. He is not on the ballot in the midterms. Congress is. And he would be a hell of a lot less effective if we had a Congress that did its damn job. I know. No, it's not from his physicians. There is not a single physician that has examined the president that has said he has frontal lobe dementia. There's not a single one. If there was, they would have invoked the 25th and we'd be in a different place right now. So you can tell me that there are other physicians saying, oh, his symptoms mirror this or whatever, which, by the way, I think that that's kind of irresponsible of them. But the bottom line is that that's not something that people should be doing. It's not relevant. It's really dangerous when people start throwing around medical diagnosis for people that you're not their physician. So anyway, That's one of my pet peeves. And I don't care who it is, whether it's Joe Biden or Donald Trump. I don't do that. So anyway, but yeah, so Boxer Mom, that's the way that I approach things. It's who benefits from you thinking that. They want you to believe that there's nothing you can do, so you will do nothing to get away with everything. And so I think that people have to understand: is it that you truly believe it doesn't matter? Did you ever believe that it mattered? And if you did, what changed, right? And then what are you going to do about it? So if you don't believe that it matters, do you want a system where it does? Well, if so, I guess you might want to start voting like you want to change the system.
That is, Dani, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's a perfect way to put it. See, as you know, I lost my dad over a year ago. And so I've missed having those conversations.
Yeah.
And you just put it in a place that, thank you.
You're very welcome. Appreciate you. Thank you very much, Boxer Mom. Yeah, you're welcome.
And I'm going to go, but I just wanted to say on my way out, I grew up in Oklahoma, and it was a blue state.
Yes.
And at that time, our education wasn't, it was like ranked, I think, 13th or something like that. Well, ever since we've been under a supermajority for a decade now, we're the last in education, health, DB, all of those kinds of things. So it's amazing that I guess it's just, yeah, I'm going to take what you said. I'm going to use that because I'm trying to get more people to sign up to your project for the people and doing that work. Because I think in Oklahoma, we have quite a few people that this is going to hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah. And they just don't know it yet, but no, absolutely, it's true. Hey, Khalid. And so I think it's just, I think having those conversations with people is important so that they know what is actually impacting them and being able to show them the actual numbers. And even some people may still not believe it, right? But the reality is that it's in the bill, and it's not always about. So I really want people to understand this. It's not always about witnessing the change of someone's perspective in real time in that moment when you're having the conversation. It is about the conversation itself. So let me see how well y'all pay attention to me. When I'm talking with someone and I'm using Carve, someone tell me, what is the one thing that I say I'm always listening for? What am I listening for in the conversation? Because it's not for them to change their damn mind. What is it? What am I always listening for? Yep, Veronica got it. Spot on. The connection. I'm always looking for the connection. I'm listening for it because there is a place in that person's life that is similar or mirrors or mimics mine. There's a place where we can connect. And as soon as I find that, boom, I'm going straight to that place of connection because connection creates understanding. Even in places where you don't gain agreement, connection creates understanding, and understanding is the place that builds the bridges to all the places that we want to go. So remember that when you're talking to someone, always be thinking about how would this person, how did they get there? How did this person get to be where they are and think the way they think? And what are the possibilities? Where can we connect? It's always about listening for that connection because that's where we build understanding. Good morning, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree 100% with that. And thank you, Dani. I just want people to know there is hope. Don't lose your hope. It's there. They want, like you said, Dani, they're trying really hard to not let us vote. So that ought to tell you.
Yeah. I see. And so when you do that, though, that's going to automatically say resistance. When you say, yeah, they're trying to take it away, even though it's true, right? The question, and so it's better. So listen, folks, it's always the best option is always to ask a question rather than tell them something.
Okay.
Because,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Right.
So remember when we talk about this, when we talk about having conversations with people, it is like taking them on an Easter egg hunt. So how many of you all have ever taken a small child on an Easter egg hunt? Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever taken a child on an Easter egg hunt. Give me a 1.
I have.
Right? Or right? And so you hit all the damn eggs. You know where the eggs are, right? But you can't just take them out and point, here's the egg, here's the egg. That takes all the fun out of it, right? So what do? You lead them in a way that they don't know they're being led. You give them a little hint to get them to go this way and go that way, right? And all of a sudden, when they discover the egg you led them to, they own it. It belongs to them. And they are proud because of that ownership because they found it, even though you led him to it. Salam always thought. Does that make sense? So every conversation is like an Easter egg hunt. And listen, sometimes you might be going to the green egg and all of a sudden they take a pivot and they're closer to the orange egg. It's okay. You can come back to the green egg, lead them to where the orange egg is first. It's fine because you know where all the eggs are. It's okay. So you've got to be able to know I'm guiding you to where the eggs are. I'm just not letting you know where they are going, right? And then the self-discovery gives people ownership. Happy to see you too, Abdul El-Syed. Self-discovery gives people ownership. Nobody wants to be forced to believe something. Nobody does. So,
Dani, thank you. Those are like everybody write those down, put them in your Dani Gold vault.
Yeah.
What I do is a lot of times I write stuff down, Dani, that I look at it and I'm like, okay, close that, then I go have a conversation. So I have those tips that you just gave us.
Yeah. There you
in
go.
my head, leading them, like you said. So thanks, Dani.
You're welcome, Dr. Mom. You too. Appreciate you.
Take care.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'm going to do James, and then I'm going to bring some more folks up to the panel. When I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute. All right, James, good morning, and how are you?
I'm fine.
Did you do any homework last night?
You know I can't lie to you.
So you didn't?
No. You wanted me to look those people up and learn more about them. Was that my homework?
Don't be coming in here trying to ask the teacher what the homework is that they gave you. You failed.
Well, listen, what I wanted to know today to educate myself was you said that education wasn't socialist. But what things are socialist that you believe in? Because I believe I'm a socialist, but I want to see what it is that you think are socialist programs. So you suggested I'm not with those programs. What programs would you suggest are socialist? Because I believe I'm a progressive and a socialist.
No, you said you believe you are a capitalist and a socialist, and you are not. You are a capitalist.
I believe I'm a capitalist, a socialist.
No, you're not.
And a progressive.
No, you're not. You are not a capitalist. You are not a socialist. You're not.
What would be socialist?
Yeah. So your fire department is socialism, right? Your county run EMS is socialism. Yeah. Yes.
I believe in all those things.
It's not, but do you understand that? So listen, do you understand that it's not what, baby? Okay. It is not about believing in those things being there that makes it socialism. Yeah, Social Security is socialism, right?
Right.
Here's my thing. It's not about that. That's not what makes you believing in socialist programs that might exist in spite of a system of capitalism, right? That's not what makes you a socialist, right? And this is one of the reasons why I hate labels, because there are so many places of intersectionality. Nobody is suggesting that the United States of America should have a wholly socialist functioning society.
Right.
Right? That's not, nobody is suggesting that.
Right.
And so what I would offer to you is thinking about the way that because we went over this yesterday. I don't know why you stuck on this, James, but So you believe in socialist programs that are necessary because of the abuses of capitalism. That's what you support. You support socialist type programs that are only necessary because of the excessive greed that we have within our capitalistic systems.
I'm not sure I understand that, but I believe in welfare. I think people should, if people need a welfare to survive and to feed their children.
But that's the point. They need it. Why? Why do they need it?
Because they're temporarily not performing or working.
No. What? No. There are people that work that still need benefits. Do you know what percentage? Do you know what percentage of people that are on SNAP benefits work?
No, I don't know what percentage.
Okay, let's do it together. For households with working age non-disabled adults, more than 50% of able-bodied adults hold jobs while they get benefits. More than 50%, right? You also don't remember those that are caregivers and so forth and so on and whatever, right? But it's the majority of people work. So why are people working and they still need help from the government? Why is that?
Well, certainly, used to work in the vocational area where people would come in and get occupations, and then all of a sudden, once they got their certificates, somehow they would lose child care. And I was always against that. I was always, how are you going to let somebody get an education, get a job, and then as soon as they get a job, you cut them off? I mean, the job is not going to automatically give them everything they need in order to survive. So
but my question is, why do people that work still need help?
Because they're not somehow or another, they're not getting enough money. And I say that
when you say somehow or another, are the crows coming in the darkness of night and stealing the wages? Don't say like you don't know how the hell they not making enough money. Tell the damn truth. Stop acting crazy, James. I'm not doing that. You're acting like Casper the ghost came in here and stole their money in the middle of the night. I don't know how these people aren't making a livable wage. I don't know how they go to work for a company, but they don't make enough money. I don't know how. What in the world? Stop it. You do know how. Why? How do people that work and have jobs still not have enough to live?
Right.
How is that, James? Tell me.
Well, their owners or people in control of the purse strings are not giving them enough money to have a level. But that's why the government.
So you're talking to me about corporate greed, extreme capitalism, right?
Right.
Damn, there's that capitalist system, James.
But I believe in capitalism, but not people should get fair pay.
But are people getting fair pay?
Well, that's why I'm for increasing.
Don't you dare say just the minimum wage. I'm so sick of the damn minimum wage conversation. Let me just tell y'all, minimum wage, even if you take minimum wage to $22 an hour right now, it still is not fucking enough. $22 an hour is not enough in this country. Not if you want a 2-bedroom apartment, not if you want your food and your groceries, not if you have a car payment, not if you have car insurance, not if you want to really be extravagant and you have life insurance, not if you want to have health care, not if you want to have, stop that with this nonsense.
But then you need a second job, then.
No, we don't. We need a fucking system that pays a livable wage. I am tired of sitting in a country that will give corporations like Walmart tax-free benefits for fucking 10 years because they're going to quote unquote create jobs. And then they turn around and have half the damn store shut down so that everybody has to go through self-checkout, although we're not getting no damn discount on our groceries, right? They're not paying a livable wage. So then those employees that they got jobs created for have to go back to the damn government and get SNAP benefits, and they have to get public housing, and they have to get help because the same damn corporations is double and triple dipping. Stop acting like you don't know that. Of course you do. It's not rocket science.
Well, I believe in them that, we need to have a livable minimum wage.
What is a livable minimum wage? Tell me what it is.
Well, I think $15 an hour is pretty good.
Okay, then I want you to take your black ass out and go work for $15 an hour. That's what I want you to do. I do. I literally do. I want you to go right now, take your black ass out and get a $15 an hour job. Yep. And then I want you to be able to pay rent, even for a studio, even for a studio 1-bedroom apartment. Right. And you only gonna get 30 hours, you only gonna get 30 hours a week. You wanna know why, James? Because they don't want to pay your ass no damn benefits. So you're gonna stay under that 30-hour mark because they don't want to pay you full-time wages. And you're not gonna have no damn health care either. Mr. Educator, used to state insurance, living from your place of privilege. Yeah. See, you chuckle. You always chuckle, but it's true.
My place of privilege was based on I was willing to maximize.
No, it's not.
My abilities.
No. And I told you, James, this is why I told you, stop helping people. All you do is judge other people. If other people did not achieve what James was able to achieve, then it's because it's their own fucking fault. And that's the way that you view everyone, and it is so harmful. It's so harmful.
But you have to learn.
You are the son of an educator. That in and of itself is fucking privilege.
Well, I recognize that I was born to a good situation.
No, you don't, because you just said to me, everything I have is because I was able to maximize my potential. Everything I have is because I just did it all. Everything I had. Yeah, no.
Off the cake. I heard you said you were born in May. You're a Taurus?
Why do you believe in astrology?
No, I was born May too. I'm a Taurus. May 14th.
Well, not all Tauruses are the same.
Right. You're a mess. I don't know why you try to make me out to be a villain.
I'm not making you out to be nothing, James. I am literally, listen, I allow you to show the world who you are.
I'm trying to be your ally.
No, you are not. No, you're not. And let me tell you why I'm not going to let you sit up here and lie. You're not going to sit up here and play in my face. Because you get on this app, you ask your questions, you chuckle, you da-da-da-da-da, and then you take your ass home and you don't do a bit of research. You do nothing. There's nothing about this that has such a lasting impression that you sacrifice a moment of your time when you're not on this app with me actually looking up the information. Because if you truly had questions about SNAP, if you truly had questions about social programs, if you truly had questions about, do you know how easy it would have been for your ass to get in front of your computer or on the phone that you on right now and said, what are examples of socialist programs in the United States? You could have done that.
Yes, you're right.
I know.
But I formulated my policy related to Israel and Lebanon because
it don't require no sacrifice from you. I already told you that, James. You will happily formulate your opinion on Palestine and Gaza, Palestine and Lebanon and Israel based on the information that I gave you, because it doesn't require you to change anything about yourself. It doesn't require you to address your own ego. It doesn't require you to think about the way that you live your life and the way that you view systems or the way that you have treated people or think about people when they don't rise to whatever occasion you believe they ought to have a rise to. Yeah, that one's easy. It's foreign. It doesn't touch you daily. You ain't going to Gaza no damn time soon. You're not going to Lebanon. It's easy to change your position for something that doesn't impact you on a personal level.
But I'm going to vote related to that. I'm part of those people.
I know, and you're going to feel so good about it, aren't you? You're going to be like, look at me. I'm voting because this is what's good for, yes. Yep, you will virtue signal all damn day. You will virtue signal all damn day because you love to do it. You sure will. You sure will. You'll tell people all day long. I learned about the Nakba, and I learned what Israel has done to Palestine. I've learned all those things, and so I pay attention to see if my candidate took AIPAC money. This is what you do. This is what you do.
I don't know what I'm gonna have to do to get on your ally list.
Is that what you're trying to do?
I'm trying to be an ally.
No, you're not.
I am.
No, you're not. Tell me what you're doing besides getting on this app every other day and asking me questions. What are you actually doing? Tell me about the work. Have you had a conversation with your daughter yet about sexual harassment and sexual abuse?
No, I haven't.
Of course you haven't. Have you asked a single man in your life if they know someone that is sexually abused or raped a woman? Have you had a conversation with any man in your life?
No.
Right. You ain't doing nothing.
All right, I'm gonna have to try harder.
Don't try, do.
Okay.
Okay.
But I am an ally.
No, you're not. And I told you, you don't get to tell me you're my ally. No, you don't. The same way white people do not get to tell black people if they are an ally. Men do not get to tell women if they are an ally. No, you don't. No.
I support you and I support women.
Really? What do you do to support me? Are you a subscriber, James? Are you a paid subscriber to my platform?
No, I'm not a paid subscriber.
No. Do you
I tap and I send gifts. I'm trying. That's why I show up every day. I try to learn and be involved.
So here, I already know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Give me a second.
What?
Hold on. I'm gonna do it anyway. Give me 1 second. Whoops. James, you in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so give me 1 minute.
Orlando.
Okay. Yep, give me a second. Orlando's what county?
Orange County.
That's what I thought. You're not Deshay, are you?
Yes.
Well, which one? Are you D James 82?
Yeah, I'm D James 82.
Okay. So have you accessed the Project for the People Google Drive?
I did access to, I think when you had me send me to your...
You registered. I'm asking you, have you gone in and actually downloaded any of the graphics?
No, I think I did that.
No. Have you downloaded the sample petitions?
No, I didn't.
Have you shared any of the information with the people in your life?
You're right. No, I haven't.
Right. So you're not trying, and you damn sure not doing.
Well, I'm gonna do better.
Yes, he's a retired educator. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna do better.
Well, I'll believe it when I see it. Make me a believer.
I want to
Pretend I'm from Missouri, James. Show me.
I attended. That's why I keep coming back.
No, that ain't why you keep coming back. Hush your mouth.
Right.
That is not why you keep coming back.
I keep coming back.
Ain't nobody in here confused about that.
Why you think I keep coming back?
It damn sure ain't because you trying.
This is one of the best things to me.
I'm aware. Listen, you gotta tell me how great this space is. I know. I cultivated it. These people right here built it with me. We know. We do. We know. Right, Gums. James, look, they helping you out over on YouTube. James, there's a flyer that you can just print off and share with people. It's the easiest way to support and do something.
Okay.
Wow, look at that. Good morning, Regina.
Because of you, I plan to buy some billboards and put out in front of my house about people needing to vote and people needing to support the Democratic Party. I already put it in my budget to buy those too.
Of course you did. How very capitalist of you.
Listen,
How very capitalist of you. Listen, let me throw some money at it and put a sign out so I don't got to take my ass out and knock a door. Let me go ahead and put some signs out. I'm going to throw some money at it so I don't have to actually have a conversation with my friends. let me just put some signs out so I can virtue signal. See my damn signs? Look at me. Y'all see my signs? Look at that. Look at that. Anybody who drive down my street, they see my sign. They all know I'm out here telling people to vote. Ain't I doing a good job? Look at that.
you're a mess.
Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, Michigan. So, anyway.
All right.
Yeah. So, anyway.
That's not a good idea.
I didn't say it wasn't a good idea. I just said it is what I would just say.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let me know when you do some homework. From now on, so this is gonna be your barrier. You won't have a barrier to my platform, James. You're gonna show up and I'm gonna say, James, what homework did you do last night?
Okay, well, I'm gonna get on here and start doing something right now.
Okay.
So you can't use that against me.
Okay, well we'll see. We'll see tomorrow if your ass makes it back to the panel. Okay. Have a good one, James.
I'm working hard.
Okay. Hardly working, but we'll see.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Folks, when I bring you up to the panel, please do me a favor. Put yourself on mute. No, it's makingamericatruly.great.com. makingamericatruly.great.com. So, literally, that's what I said. Is next time you come back, I'm gonna ask you what homework did you do last night, and if you didn't do none, then you know how to come back another day. All right, folks. When I bring you up to the panel, put yourself on mute until I get to you, please. I know her giggles are amazing, Grammy. I know. I saw Jeff. I saw that they voted to hold him in contempt. And y'all know that don't matter, don't you? Just saying. Okay. All right. So what's up, man of Sahel? How are you, friend?
I thought it was frozen. What
It
happened
is.
to the switch?
I was trying because I was certainly about to call your ass Frozo.
It's fine. I prefer Frozone. Strangers call me Man of Steel nowadays, so yeah. So how is all 400 people doing? And Dani, how are you doing?
Better. You saw we had Abdul El-Syed win yesterday. We love that.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You know, the one thing that I'm gonna say, well, not say more than one thing, but because I'm gonna go and buy some fish, is that I don't mind being the scary Muslim. Right?
Yeah.
I don't mind being the scary Muslim because halal is bad, meaning fish is bad, chicken is bad. I don't know why you have a thing against chicken now, but and I'm from Ramadan, which is just up north.
Did you say you're from Ramadan?
I'm from Ramadan, just up north, literally just like 250 miles up north, and then you gotta turn on a little bit to the right, and there you will find Ramadan. Okay, and just on the corner from that is Hajj. Okay, so that's where I'm from. Yeah. And Shakira Law. Don't forget Shakira Law.
Shakira Law. Not Shakira Law.
Yes. I follow Shakira Law. That's what I'm going to say.
Got it. Yeah. It's crazy work, the amount of, and I knew it was coming when he won right after. No, he's being facetious. He's being sarcastic the whole time. But it is, I mean, you knew it was coming when he won on the back of Mom Dani. You know what I mean? Like right behind Mom Dani. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, tongue in cheek. Exactly. And, you know, I think, so for me, so let me tell you what I'm not going to do in this space. So what you won't see me do is share the horrific things that they are saying. And there are many people that are going to do this. Many people are going to amplify the horrendous things that they are saying. I refuse to do that. I refuse to do that. Instead, we will have a conversation about those things. Give me 1 second, Frozo. So Lou, here's what I would like for you to do. Lou, if you could come to the panel for me and share with me what Sharia law is. I'm just going to be honest. I don't believe that you know what Sharia law is because you don't even know how it's spelled, which makes me believe that you haven't even looked it up to know what Sharia law is. So Lou, can you share with me? Yeah. So what is
it is what it is. It's
so,
a law.
Tell me, but what is it?
It's a law.
You said, are you for Sharia law? What does that mean?
What is a law? A law is when someone tells you what to do.
I know what.
Common sense, right?
Yes.
And when you have a relationship with the Lord, what is that? That's a relationship. That's not a law. And that's what we are now. We have a relationship with the Lord. You want to go to a law where a person tells you what to worship, tells you to wear something on their head. You want to go with that? What are you people thinking?
So, couple things. That's not actually how Sharia law works. And when you talk about, y'all take a breath. You guys in the comment.
I am
Take
taking
it.
a breath.
I said in the comments, Lou. I'm talking to the chat for a moment. 1 second, guys. Settle down and do not get all worked up. Y'all know better than that. So Sharia law actually means law. Like Sharia means law. So when you say Sharia law, you're literally saying like law. That's what you're saying. Do you know that that's what Sharia means?
Are you seeing what's going on in all these countries?
No, answer my question first. Do you know that the word Sharia actually translates to law? So when you say Sharia law, you're literally saying, oh, so you're for law? Do you know that? I can't hear you, Lou. Okay. So
I just want to say one thing. The problem with
wait, no, before you say what you want to say, and I'm fine with letting you speak, but what I would like for you to do is answer my question first.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the question that I ask you is, do you know that Sharia means law? Like that's the translation of the word Sharia. So when you say, oh, so you want Sharia law, you're actually saying, so you want law. Do you know that?
Kind of. I mean, so what does that mean? Do I want law? What does that mean?
Well, so that's the problem is I'm not sure that you know what Sharia law means.
I don't know.
It's just the path. It's just
time out. The little bit that I know about it.
So share with me what that is. What it
look good. Just
so share with me what it is that you know about it. Share.
The look isn't good.
No, I'm asking you. Share with me what you know about it.
The basic thing that I know about it.
Yes.
They tell women, and you're a woman. They own you.
No, they don't. They do not own their women. No, they don't.
What do
they do?
Okay, you're gonna walk around with a scarf on your head.
So, Lou.
I asked me that.
Hold on 1 second. So, Lou, you're talking. Lou, I'm gonna answer your question, but hold on a second. Okay, listen. They do not own their women. That's not a thing. They don't. If you know, so let me just say this: if you know anything about Islam, you would actually understand that when a man is practicing Islam, his relationship and his value that he places on his woman is to the highest degree. They are well taken care of, and so that's not a thing.
And you like that? You think what are you for? Are you for that?
Listen, I am for people having freedom of religion.
That's
Right?
not
So
having
if
freedom of
people,
religion. And that's what this guy did. You just said, "Oh, we're so happy he won." That's what he's for.
no, he's not. You're lying.
Oh my goodness.
Lou, you're
And let me
lying.
tell you
You will
something.
not find, stop for a moment.
you
You
have
will not
free-
find, Lou,
Free unified health.
Lou, hold
Who's gonna
on.
pay for that?
I'll be damned. Lou, listen. You will not find a single thing coming from Abdul El-Syed saying he wants Islam as the national religion. You will not hear him saying anything about he wants everyone to follow Sharia law. Like none of that is true. Like none of it. He's literally born and raised in Michigan.
Okay,
Do you know where his daddy's from?
I don't know, but all I know is I saw him with his hand up in the air with the guy from New York mayor, and that's what he's for.
No, he's not either. No, he's not. So share with me this, Lou. Share with me this. If Mom Dani wants Sharia law, right? Can you share with me why it is now August? It is now August. He's been the mayor for 8 months. No, but it is. It is up to him, right? It is. He's the mayor of New York. So so Lou, here's the thing. I'm asking you a question. He's been in office for 8 months. What has Zohran Mamdani done that in any way, shape, or form has infringed upon the rights of people?
Say that question again, I'm sorry.
Share with me what Zohran Mamdani has done that has infringed upon the rights of the citizens of New York.
He just doesn't like America.
Show me how. Show me where. Show me where. Tell me what's he done. What has he done, Lou? Lou, listen. This is the question that I'm asking you. Stop, Lou. Listen.
Why do you want to tell me to stop?
Because you're not answering my question. This is the thing that I'm asking you. Because here's what you're doing, Lou. Here's what you're doing. No, here's what you're doing. You're making an accusation with absolutely no fact. And when I ask you to give me an example of what you're saying, you can't do that. You've not been able to do that. You've not been able to tell me a single thing that Zohran Mamdani has done that has been harmful for the people or infringed upon their rights. You've not been able to do that. Right? Because he's not, and he hasn't.
Well, you're trying to twist everything.
No, I'm not. I'm saying you cannot demonstrate a single thing.
You know why? Because we won't let them. The federal government won't let them.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. The federal government doesn't dictate what the city does.
Yes, there's certain laws that he can't do.
So, listen, that what he wants to do for his state, the federal government. No. So again, Lou, it's apparent that you do not know how government works. It's apparent that you do not know. This is why do states have their own constitutions, Lou?
You tell me if you know all the rules.
Well, the states do have you do know that all the states have their constitutions, right?
Of course all states.
Okay, and so states determine, what do states determine?
What do states determine?
Yes.
Or what? What do you mean?
They determine their state laws.
Oh.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when a mayor implements policies that are in accordance with his state's laws, right? The federal government has zero say in that.
I don't know. The mayors implement the policies. The mayors? I thought
Ooh, I need to do that. So, folks, listen to me. Do me a favor, folks. In the chat, hold on. Let me just tell the chat. Chat, be respectful in the chat, please. I'm serious. Be respectful in the chat. Go ahead, Lou.
No, according to you, the mayors have the power to determine the laws.
No, that's not what I said. That's not even remotely close to what I just said. I just said that when a mayor makes policies for their city that is in accordance with their state law, they are able to do that.
Okay.
So again, I'm going to ask you, Lou, to name for me one thing that Zoran Mamdani has done that has infringed upon the rights of the people.
Don't like his whole makeup.
No,
I don't need to give you a specific thing.
But you do.
I do not.
You do. If you want to be taken seriously, so you just want to make up your own opinions.
He's just not for America.
No, you can't. But how can you tell? How can you tell? By the color of his skin? Is it by the color of his skin? Is it his name? Is it the color of his skin that makes you know? Is it his name?
That's not true.
Is it his name?
Just the way he
Is it his religion?
He's never behind America. He's never USA #1.
I beg to differ.
He's not.
I see him being very much behind America. Like everything that he has done in office has been to help Americans in New York City. So I'm asking you again, Lou. So this is the thing. So Lou, I'm very direct in this space. Okay. I'm very direct and I'm very fact-based and I'm willing to have conversations, as you can see, with just about anybody. The thing is that when we have conversations, I respect your right to have an opinion. And if your opinion is only based in how you feel or your bigotry, right, then I don't have to respect your opinion. Like if you were able to sit up here on this panel and say, Dani, the reason I feel like this is because he put out this policy or he did this thing and he did that thing, then we could have a real conversation because you would have concrete examples of what you think, of what he's actually done. But when you say, oh, I don't have to give you those things, you're right, you don't. But what it does is that it invalidates your opinion because now we're just talking about your feelings.
But how about the track record in all these other countries where mayors are getting, Islam mayors are getting elected and all that, like in UK and all that? How's that looking?
What are you talking about? So first of all, I don't live in any other country. No, Lou, we're not pivoting. Lou, we're not pivoting. We're not pivoting. Lou, we are not pivoting. Stop for a moment. We are not pivoting. We are going to stay right here in this conversation because this is the conversation that you chose to join the panel about.
It's the same.
No, it's not. I am not having a conversation, Lou. I am not having a conversation about the politics in any other country. I am having a conversation specifically about the United States of America. And what I am asking you to do is to provide examples or sources for the things that you are claiming. Now, if you don't have any of those and you're just simply a bigot, that's okay. Just say that. I mean, it's perfectly okay. I know people that are bigoted. But Lou, you are. So listen, if you're claiming things about someone, hold on. If you are claiming things, Lou, listen. Do you know what the definition of a bigot is?
Sort of, yeah. Go ahead, give it to me. Go ahead.
Okay. So if you have a dislike, a disapproval, a discriminatory view of a particular person or group of people that is not based on their actual actions or integrity, but it's simply the way that they look or their name or their religion or whatever, right? It's not because they've actually done anything. You can't name a single thing that they've done. That is...
I'm a neighbor right now.
Hold on, let me finish, Lou.
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you.
That is being a bigot. And let me explain to you what often happens, okay? So if you're about to tokenize your neighbor and say, oh, I have a neighbor that's Black, or I have a neighbor that's Muslim, or I have a neighbor that's called tokenizing, okay? And let me share with you what happens, Lou. And this has been throughout history, okay? This has been throughout history. When you get to know a person, right? And you get to know the character of that person, and you have a one-on-one relationship with them and an understanding with them, you're able to see past the things that you have bigoted beliefs about. So that is how throughout history we've had situations where you've had slaveholders be able to have relationships with and have children with Black enslaved people. Even though they are enslaving them, even though they are whipping them, even though they are doing all of those things, they've been able to see past that for the actual relationship. So just because you have people in your life that might also share some of the same characteristics of an individual, it doesn't mean that you can't be bigoted towards that particular group. That's not what it means. And this is why it's so important. And I want to say this, I appreciate you staying here and having this conversation, because it's so important for us to dig deeper and to understand how we view things and how those lenses impact what we see.
I'm not being bigoted, and I don't really care. They can do whatever they
So
want.
so what would you call it? If what you're judging on, hold on. If what you are judging, because you are judging their religion, you're judging their faith without knowing.
I'm not judging it.
Hold on, you did. You did.
No, I'm not.
You did. You got on this panel and you said, is that what you want? It doesn't look good. If you are telling me it doesn't look good and that's not what you want, you are literally judging it.
Right. I apologize for saying that.
But it is, but don't apologize. It's how you feel.
No, here's how I do feel, really. I more thought about it a little bit more. I don't like how they push it on us. Why are they pushing that on us?
Who's pushing something on you?
Business. What do you mean? We gotta hear prayers in the streets. That is Muslim prayers in the middle of their streets.
No. So listen, hold on, wait. Do you get upset? So Lou, wait. Do you get upset when the Catholic church bells ring? Do you get upset when the Catholic church rings their bells for prayer? Do you get upset when the Catholic church rings their bells? No. Okay. So when you are walking through the street, hold on.
It's more USA.
Lou, listen.
Yes.
Hold on a second. When you are walking through the street, listen, Lou, hold on. When you're walking through the street, okay, and you hear somebody driving down the street playing their music, are they forcing their music on you?
Kind of, they are when they blast their ears.
But are they forcing it on you? Or are they just minding their business?
Blast it in your ear, yeah.
Okay, so the thing about it is, so then why are you singling out Muslim call to prayer? Why aren't you singling out?
I can't compare that.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
I
can.
can't compare that to
Yes, you
someone
can.
blasting music in your
It is
ear.
the same. It is the
No, I
same.
can't.
So listen,
No, it's not.
whether
That's
it is
not
a church bell ringing, whether it is a church bell ringing, whether it is somebody playing music, whether it is somebody standing on a street corner preaching, right? Which we see a lot of. We see a lot of.
Being naive.
No, listen, no, Lou, listen, hold on, let me
Pushing
finish.
this on us.
Can I finish?
They're trying to push
Can
this
I
on
finish?
us.
Lou,
They're trying to push
Lou,
this on us.
let me ask you a question. Can you share with me the last time a Muslim knocked on your door and asked you if you wanted to come to mosque with them?
Where I live, that's not going to happen.
Well, I can tell you the last time a Christian knocked on my door. I've had Jehovah's Witness and I've had Mormons knock on my door. Can you tell me the last time you've seen Muslims drive their bus over in Sunday school light and try to recruit everybody to come to mosque?
No, but
No, they don't. Christians do that.
But you do hear.
What is manifest destiny?
The new America.
What is manifest destiny, Lou?
We don't say that. Christians don't say we want to take over America. Everyone's going to be Christian. We don't say that.
Oh, damn lie. When y'all say America is a Christian nation? Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But that's not saying you're taking over.
Yes, it is. When you say, so listen, I can literally play you. Hold on. I can show you this. Hold on, Lou. I got you. Because this type of stuff is just really, really important. So, Lou, can you tell me, can you show me a clip by either, hold on, let me ask you a question. Hold on. Can you show me, I don't know what a Christian looks like, but see, that's what I mean, Lou. You got some bigotry in there. You really do. Because Christians don't have a look to them. If I had chosen today to wear a head wrap, would I have all of a sudden looked Muslim?
I shouldn't say that. I don't know. That sounded like it. That sounded like it, but
No, it was it. It was bigoted. That's the thing. So hold on a second. Hold on. Let me ask you. Can I really do want to ask you this question. Seriously. Can you show me a single clip from either Zoran Mamdani or Abdul El-Syed that says they want to outlaw Christianity, Christian churches, and any of that, and take? Can you show me a clip?
I probably couldn't because I didn't look into it that much. But could you show?
But why are you running around the internet? Why are you running around the internet making claims? You're making claims that you haven't looked into. Why are you saying these things, Lou, if you don't know them?
I'm just cutting out Democrats because I don't understand what their policies were. They're all
No, you're not.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with Democrats and their policies, and I am not about to let you. Sit up here. Hold on. Stop talking. Please don't talk over me. Please, it's rude. So let me just say this. No, because this is the first time you mentioned Democrats this whole time. You're trying to pivot, and I'm not going to let you. You came up here specifically talking about Muslims and Islam and Sharia law, and I'm not going to let you go somewhere else. I am not. Stop interrupting, Lou. I'm not going to let you all of a sudden pivot to something else as if you don't know what you said. And so I want to pay attention. Hold on a second, because this is important. And hold on a second. This is from an interview from Monty Fritz, who is a Republican representative from the state of Tennessee, who is running to be governor. Okay. And I'm going to play this clip for you. And then I want to have a conversation about it, because I think that this is the thing that's really important. I've asked you to share with me a clip where you can find Zoran Mamdani, Abdul El-Syed, or any other. Hold on, or any other Muslim representative, where they say they want to ban Christianity and get rid of Christianity and all of that, right? And you can't do that. Give me 1 second. Let me see if this is. Okay. No. This part's important, Lou. Hang out for just a moment more. Thank you. Yeah, but we're gonna do this real quick, because I'm not letting it slide. And the reason I'm not is because what you're doing is yeah, no, I'm gonna play it.
Made the statement that you don't think it's your job to beat someone about the head and neck with the Bible. Isn't it also true that you would like to use your political power to impose your biblical views, abortion or LGBTQ rights or the practice of Islam? What's the difference?
Yeah, I think speaking the truth in love is much different than beating someone about the head and neck. I think that if we honor God in what we do in the state of Tennessee, we'll receive His blessing. If we dishonor Him and we adopt a polytheistic worldview where we accept all religions as the same, we'll fall into the judgment of that same Almighty God that's mentioned in our Constitution. I think that's clear. Abortion is an immoral thing. It's murder of a human being. I would like to see that ended. I would like to abolish that in the state of Tennessee. And I think that aligns with God's Word. I think it also aligns with our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence.
But why is that not essentially beating someone over the head with the Bible if you're using your political power to impose your interpretation of the Bible?
Again, it's back to we want the best for our fellow citizens. I'm convinced that God's will for our life is the best for us. And if I really believe that, how can I not be an advocate for such? Whether I hold the office of grandpa or papa or whether I hold the office of governor or state rep, if I really believe, if I have confessed with my mouth the Lord Jesus, his lordship, his authority over my life, which is what we're really being told there, believe that God has raised him from the dead with victory over the cross and the grave and looking forward to that coming day. If I really believe those things, how could I not want to be a light to those people who I think are lost in darkness and who will find themselves in hell if they don't repent?
Why not encourage them rather than legislating them?
There's a responsibility in Scripture that we have to stay within the boundaries of what God says is right and wrong. So much of our law in America today, if not all, one could argue all, at least at its basis, comes from the Ten Commandments. We started again with our Christian heritage in that manner. Who says murder is wrong? It's not just a consensus of us as fellow men, as countrymen, as you and I, that think that's an immoral thing. It has to come from a foundation. And our founders understood that that foundation was the authority of God's word. And I think legislating to align with that's important. We are called to do the right thing by people and put up those boundaries. The law is supposed to be a teacher. God's law is a teacher. In Scripture, he gave us the law. He gave Moses the law so that his people then and today would see that they couldn't work salvation out. There had to be a sacrifice because we are imperfect men. There had to be that perfect sacrifice. He was Jesus, right? I think civil law is that same thing, Phil. I think the law is a teacher and that we set those punishments up, if you will, or those deterrents in place so that people will stay within what's acceptable within the society under civil law and God's will.
What I hear is you saying Monty Fritz wants to impose laws based on Monty Fritz's interpretation of the Bible, not allowing for the fact that good Christians may disagree.
I think there's lots of areas that good Christians disagree on some things. I think sometimes they disagree out of convenience. I would correct the statement just to say this. Our law should be in alignment with what God has said, period.
Made this.
So with what God has said, hold on. He goes on to say this about he literally has said if a court rules against him, he said he wants to ban mosques. He wants to ban not just Islam. He said, but he would do that for Islam. He would do it for Buddhism. He would do it for Hinduism. He referred to all of them as pagan religions, even though Islam is an Abrahamic religion. So Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are the three religions that are Abrahamic religions. They are all based on the lineage of Abraham. Did you know that, Lou?
Sort of, yeah, but you got a little bit more detail of it.
Right. So to understand, Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are all Abrahamic religions. They all believe, and Islam talks a lot in the Quran about Jesus, right? If you didn't know that, that's a thing. What's interesting is when Monty Fritz, this Tennessee representative that is running for Congress, when he was asked, well, okay, so if you would ban Islam and Buddhism and Hinduism, then you said that you would want to write laws against any religion that doesn't believe Christ is king, right? So then that would mean Judaism as well, because Jewish people do not believe that Jesus Christ is king. And he said no. He wouldn't do that for Judaism. So what do you think about Lou? What do you think about that, Lou? Why do you think it's okay, number one, for this person running for Congress, running to be governor of Tennessee, right, wanting to ban religions that aren't Christianity, including Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, but not Judaism? Why do you believe that the Jewish religion should be special and exempt? Because Jewish people do not believe that Christ is king.
See, I took one basic thing and you turned it all around into something.
No, I'm asking you a question. I didn't turn it into anything.
My thing is, I got a daughter. Wife,
No,
I don't
Lou,
wanna see
can
them
you
walking
please,
around
in good faith,
with a
can you
scar
answer my
on their head.
question? In good faith, can you please answer my
My
question?
question is, you know what my answer is? He's wrong, 100%.
Great.
I'm against him.
Love
I
that.
am.
So now,
I am. I would never talk like that.
okay, but do you understand that you and he said similar things? He said the same thing. The way that you talk about Islam and Muslims is the same thing. He even talked about banning call to prayer. The very thing that you complained about.
My words don't come out the way they
The very thing that you complained about, Muslim call to prayer, Monty Fritz said that he would ban.
But you growing up, I know you growing up. What did you do? You stood up in class. You said the Pledge of Allegiance. You said the it was all American. Now all of a sudden, wait a minute.
Growing up, I'll tell you what I didn't do in class.
They're pushing
What I
this
didn't
on
do
us.
in class was recite the 10 Commandments, Lou. I didn't do that, nor should we be doing it now. When I was growing up in the United States of America, before I joined the Army and served my country, I did not stand in my public school system and recite the 10 Commandments because we understood that freedom of religion is important and that we should not force Christianity on students in school unless we're also going to include. Why are we including parts from the Bible if we don't include the parts from and if we want to talk about, oh, it's from our heritage, then that means we need the Native American prayer also, right? Because I would say that Native American prayer, Native American practice is definitely part of the heritage of the United States of America. Would you agree, Lou?
I don't know. Now you're getting to.
But are they
I'm
not?
just telling you what I grew up on. And what
But
you
I'm
thought
asking
you
you, Lou, are Native Americans not an integral part of the United States of America and our history?
Yes.
Yes. So if we are going to include parts of our history and our heritage to teach our children in our classrooms, and we're going to include the 10 Commandments because it's part of Christianity, then we should be including the prayers and the practices of our indigenous people as well, because that's also historically accurate. It's important to know what was practiced here before European settlers came here. Come here, sissy.
Even if we didn't, suppose you didn't go to school with any of them.
It doesn't matter. It's still part. It doesn't matter.
Just say that prayer.
Yeah, hold on one second. Yes,
According
baby.
to you. You're little. I don't know. Whatever.
Yes, I will. As soon as she gets off. So here's the thing. So Lou, but here's the thing. I went to school with Jewish people. I went to school with atheists. I went to school with people whose parents were pagan. I went to school with people who had different faiths. So if we are going to include,
We all did.
if we are going to include, and that's my point, which is why we said the Pledge of Allegiance and not the 10 Commandments. And so using laws to put Christianity into our school systems and into our laws, it goes against everything that we stand for as a country. If we do it for one religion, we must do it for all, which is why we should do it for none, because your religion should be taught in your house, with your children, with your family. And it should not be forced upon the other children who do not believe the same way.
Correct.
Right. So when you talk,
I can't argue with you on that.
I don't want you to. I want you to see what I'm saying to you, Lou. So when you say, so listen, I just want you to see the difference. You believe that simply the Muslim call to prayer is forcing Islam on you, but nobody is putting the Quran in your classrooms, but they're putting the 10 Commandments in your classrooms. Nobody is putting
Did you ever see the 10 Commandments in your classroom?
No.
I never did.
No, but they are putting them now. They are in classrooms in Oklahoma. They are in classrooms in Texas. Matter of fact, Oklahoma is putting the Bible in classrooms.
Maybe that'll help.
No, it won't. And why did you laugh it off and say maybe that will help? It's literally infringing upon the freedoms of other people. Why are you okay with forcing Christianity on people?
I'm not.
Yeah, well, you just said it. Maybe it'll help.
If we put a Bible down, a Quran down, we'll put all five.
No, but we're not. That's the
Put
problem.
them all down.
That's the problem, Lou. We're not putting it all down. We're not. We are only putting legislation.
Why you're not? Because I bet you 10 out of 10 would go to that Bible.
No, Lou, listen.
I'm just telling you
The point is simply this. We should not be using laws. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you respect the words of the founding fathers? Do you respect our history?
Of course I'm going to probably say yeah. Okay, I'll say yeah.
Okay, so share with me. So I have a question for you. So, when were we founded? 1776, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to share something that was written 9 years later. All right, Lou?
Man, you really know your history. Go ahead.
So, yeah.
Get someone else talking now.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
I would never know something like that.
But so here's my thing. Do you want to know why I choose to know these things, Lou? Is because if I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to talk to people.
Arguments?
No, literally, no. I could give a shit less about beating people in arguments. If that was the case, I'd be doing a debate show like Parker and Dean and all those other people. I don't do debates. I like to have fact-based conversations.
Right now, sort of. We're not arguing.
No, we're having a discussion, and I'm asking you questions and sharing information. So here's the thing. So, and do you know why I chose to become so well-versed? Because what I saw happening in the country that I served, that my brother served, that my mother served, that my father served, that my uncle served, what I saw happening was an enormous amount of misinformation and disinformation being used to rage bait and to mislead people, especially over the last 10 to 12 years in politics. It's just gotten horrendous. And when we have 24-hour news cycles combined with social media, you have the opportunity for a ton of very false, very bigoted, very divisive information to be put out. And so I didn't even want to come to TikTok. My oldest daughter asked me to come to TikTok, Lou, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And she said, Mom, there's so many people talking about politics on TikTok and they don't know what they're talking about. You should absolutely come to TikTok and talk about people, da, 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 da. And so I joined TikTok because my kid asked me to. And if you go to my link tree in my bio, my link tree is full. Everything that I am telling you, there's a source for it. I have a document for every single thing that we've talked about, including the one I'm about to give you now. I have a whole Google document full of links to the actual facts about immigration because so many people were lying about immigration and using it to spread fear. Right? And so what I believe is that we should talk about the issues that we truly have. We should talk about them in a fact-based manner. And we should talk about them from a perspective of how do we find connection? How do we create understanding? And how do we find real solutions? Because the rest of it doesn't fucking matter. And while everybody else is on here doing some damn peacocking all around everywhere, the country's going to hell in a handbasket. So
okay, I'm gonna let someone else talk.
Okay, I'm going to share this last document with you.
You probably know 1,000 things, laws, everything about immigration. I go by skills.
But that's not smart.
Right now.
Lou, hold on, wait. I don't want to switch. I don't want to pivot. Lou, I know, but before we go to immigration, can I share one document? Let me finish this document. Lou, one moment, please. Lou, one moment, please. Lou, I will let you talk about immigration in a second, but I'm going to finish this damn document. Not just for you, but for the other 550 people that are in the room.
That's fine.
Okay. So this document was written in 1785 by James Madison. So just 9 years after we were founded as the United States of America, just 9 years later, the Commonwealth of Virginia had proposed a piece of legislation. And that legislation was going to allow the government to pay the salaries of Christian teachers, but only teachers that were teaching Christianity. Okay. And so James Madison said, absolutely not. Have we forgotten? Have we forgotten why this is a horrible idea? And so the name of this document, and it is absolutely in my link tree for anybody that needs it. It's called a memorial and it's called a memorial and remonstrance against religious assessments. This is from June 20th, 1785. And here's what it says. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you all. There are 15 points in this thing, and I'm just going to read maybe the first 2 or 3. Okay, and then I'll paraphrase the rest. For you guys that are over here that are watching, I'm going to share the document with you so that you can see it. So it says, to the Honorable, the General Assembly of the Commonwealth of Virginia, a memorial and remonstrance. We, the subscribers, citizens of the said Commonwealth, having taken into serious consideration a bill printed by order of the last session of General Assembly entitled, quote, a bill establishing a provision for teachers of the Christian religion, end quote, and conceiving that the same, if finally armed with the sanctions of a law, will be a dangerous abuse of power, are bound as faithful members of a free state to remonstrate against it. Okay, Lou, I got you. And to declare the reasons by which we are determined. We remonstrate against the said bill, number 1, because we hold it for a fundamental and undeniable truth that, quote, religion, or the duty which we owe to our Creator and the manner of discharging it, can be directed only by reason and conviction, not by force or violence. The religion, then, of every man must be left to the conviction and conscience of every man. And it is the right of every man to exercise it as these may dictate. This right is in its nature an unalienable right. It is unalienable because the opinions of men, depending only on the evidence contemplated by their own minds, cannot follow the dictates of other men. It is undeniable also, unalienable also, because what is here a right towards men is a duty to the Creator. It is the duty of every man to render to the Creator such homage and such only as he believes to be acceptable to him. This duty is precedent, both in order of time and in degree of obligation to the claims of civil society. Before any man can be considered as a member of civil society, he must be considered as a subject of the governor of the universe. And if a member of civil society who enters into any subordinate association must always do it with a reservation of his duty to the general authority, much more must every man who becomes a member of any particular civil society do it with a saving of his allegiance to the universal sovereign. We maintain, therefore, that in matters of religion, no man's right is abridged by the institution of civil society, and that religion is wholly exempt from its cognizance. True it is that no other rule exists by which any question which may divide a society can be ultimately determined, but the will of the majority. But it is also true that the majority may trespass on the rights of the minority. I don't care if 8 out of 10 people go to the Bible, because those 8 out of 10 are trampling upon the rights of the 2 that did not. Point number 2. Because if religion be exempt from the authority of the society at large, still less can it be subject to that of the legislative body. The latter are but the creatures and vicegerents of the former. Their jurisdiction is both derivative and limited, and it is limited with regard to the coordinate departments. More necessarily is it limited with regard to the constituents. The preservation of a free government requires not merely that the metes and bounds which separate each department of power be invariably maintained, which it has not. We do not currently have separate but equal powers, but that shit's going to change in November. He says that the metes and bounds which separate each department of power be invariably maintained, but more especially that neither of them be suffered to overleap the great barrier which defends the rights of the people. The rulers who are guilty of any such encroachment exceed the commission from which they derive their authority, and they are tyrants. The people who submit to it are governed by laws made neither by themselves nor by any authority derived from them, and they are slaves. 3, I'm only going to read 3. Because, and this is my favorite line of this whole document, he says, because it is proper to take alarm at this first experiment on our liberties. We were founded 1776. It is 1785. And he says, ooh, you guys are playing with our liberties. You guys are playing with our rights. And it is proper that we should be alarmed that you are trying to do this. It is proper that people should be alarmed that they are putting Bibles in schools. It is proper that people are alarmed. And he says, we hold this prudent jealousy to be the first duty of citizens and one of the noblest characteristics of the late revolution. The free men of America did not wait till usurped power had strengthened itself by exercise and entangled the question in precedents. They saw all the consequences in the principle, and they avoided the consequences by denying the principle. So in other words, we know the consequences of putting religion into law. And so what we did was we created a constitution that says we don't put religion into law. We do not dictate the religion of other people. And he says, we revere, gosh, this is so good. We revere this lesson too much soon to forget it. Who does not see that the same authority which can establish Christianity in exclusion of all the other religions may establish with the same ease any particular sect of Christians in exclusion of all the other sects? That the same authority which can force a citizen to contribute 3 pence only of his property for the support of any one establishment may force him to conform to any other establishment in all cases whatsoever. Last sentence that I'm going to read. Because the bill violates that equality which ought to be the basis of every law, and which is more indispensable in proportion as the validity or expediency of any law is more liable to be impeached. If all men are by nature equally free and independent, all men are to be considered as entering into society on equal conditions, as relinquishing no more, and therefore retaining no less, one than another, of their natural rights. And above all, are they to be considered as retaining a, quote, equal title to the free exercise of religion according to the dictates of conscience, end quote. There are 15 points to this document. I'm not reading them all. That is the first 3.5. I refuse to let anyone sit in my face, play in my face, and act as if religion is supposed to be ingrained in our government. It is not. And the founding fathers knew that. And they knew it because they had already experienced it. And they wrote documents, and they wrote this government to make sure that we did not repeat that same mess that they just left. And the other part, if you just want the religious piece of it, yes, baby girl. She's about to get off in 30 minutes. And then the last part, if you just want the religious side of it, he basically says, and by the way, you insult God. The very God that you claim to want to serve, you insult him by forcing people to take this religion when even he did not do that. God gave everyone free will. And how dare you think that you know better than God to force them to take something that they have not found on their own?
Might I jump in just before I have to run off?
Yeah.
That is so familiar to me, because that is actually what I think as human beings, even as a Muslim myself, this is what we're supposed to do. If we're talking about governance and law and rulership over a pluralistic society, you're not supposed to institute or force a specific type of religious belief over other people, especially when you are a minority or you are living amongst people who are not of the same faith as you. And this is the question that I pose to extremist Muslims, because yes, they exist, and they're here on TikTok. I've had the displeasure of interacting with a lot of them, and it seems they have fantasies of power, right? They have fantasies of wanting to concentrate power onto themselves and to exercise power and tyranny over other people. And I call them wannabe Crusader Muslims. I call them wannabe Crusader Muslims because that is exactly how they behave, right? And I am very, very, very against the concentration of power. I hate it. I hate it because it leads to tyranny.
100%.
Whether you're Muslim, whether you're not Muslim, concentration of power to one individual and loyalty to an individual will always lead to tyranny, all the time.
So guys, let me just, sorry, Frozo. So let me just say this, you guys. Barry Martin, I invited you to the panel. If you would like to have a conversation about what you believe I just read and how it's anti-Christian, if you would like to come talk to me about how James Madison is anti-Christian, we can do that, sir. Because I literally was reading his document. So if you got a problem with James Madison and you think what he said is anti-Christian, feel free to join this panel. I don't believe that you will, but I welcome you. Hear me when I say this. I welcome you with open arms and a readied heart to have this conversation with you, sir.
I mean, sir, I agree with you, right? In fact, there was a whole article before that was taken down by the Times of Israel that was basically titled Wahhabism, a Friend of Israel, before it was taken down. And this is one of the extremist strains of Islam that exists.
Be careful that you don't get me.
I'm sorry, I don't really know what.
Because especially because if it's taken down, if they flag it, you know what I mean, and whatever, just be careful.
Yeah, I'll try to be careful with my words, but it's that particular strand that is particularly useful, because it drives a wedge amongst Muslims, and it's really, really interesting because not interesting. It's really strange that there is a lot of pro 1515 supporters here on TikTok that are Muslim, and their accounts are not being flagged.
Right. Can I ask a favor really quickly for folks? Because I need to do two very important things. I need to empty my bladder and get more water. So do I have a mod that's available to come up and give me a mod break real quick? Yeah, I don't either, Cam, and I feel like I don't want to talk about it because if it's something that should get flagged, I don't want to talk about it so that it gets flagged. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, KK. And I know it's bad timing, y'all, but literally my bladder is full. Yeah, no, Frozo, and I agree. And so this is one of the things that I think that the people love the small. Yay, Cheryl can. Okay, great. I think that this is the thing. They love those small groups, those small sects that seem to support their point, because then they can amplify it and make it seem as if it's a huge thing, you know. But thank you, Cheryl, for giving me that. Guys, I'm going to be right back. Please stay in the room. I'll be right back in like literally probably 2 minutes. Give me one second. Thanks, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Good afternoon, everyone. While Dani's away, make sure that you're tapping. Tapping is clapping. At the top, you see the little heartbeat. If yours is gray, you need to go ahead and click on that. Even if it's not gray, click on it to give you a heartbeat for today. But if it's gray, it means you're not following Dani. And you can join her by clicking on that and then clicking to send your heartbeat and joining. You also can go to the bottom corner. There is, on the right-hand side, there should be an arrow. You click that arrow. If you click that arrow, you can also either copy the link if you don't have somewhere you want to share it. You can also repost the live to help the algorithm. And you can also share it out to anyone that you want to share it to. And that helps get more people into the room, helps the algorithm, and more people who can see and hear Dani and have these conversations. Let me think what else. Obviously, there's gifting. But you can also join, if you haven't heard about Project for the People, and you're curious about that, you can go into Dani's link tree. Besides all the amazing educational information and links that are in there, there's also a link to join Project for the People. And that gives you an opportunity to join a large group of people all over the US, even some outside of it, and helping us get information out and have these conversations with people. And one of the amazing things that Aunt Dani does with this is she helps people role play and figure out how to have these conversations with people and get this information out. Because that's one of the things I think a lot of people struggle with is understanding how can I have these conversations. So when you're with Project for the People, you can actually practice on doing that very thing. Am I forgetting anything, anyone? Project for the People meets online too, so you don't have to travel anywhere. You can stay locally where you are and have all these people to work with.
There you go,
Yes, there's the viewing of A Storm Foretold.
Tomorrow.
This is a documentary on Roger Stone. Sorry, I don't know if Dani wants to take over.
I could do that one if it's good, but thank you. Yeah, Sherry, you did amazing. Love that. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Purple hair.
You're welcome.
It's just glowing in the picture, so love it. So thank you, Cheryl, for real. So for those of you all who do not know, let me just ask this question in the chat really quickly. If you are not familiar with A Storm Foretold, what it is, please put a 1 in the chat, and then I can just briefly share with you. Frozo, while they put 1s in the chat, was there anything you wanted to add? Because I know you have to go because you were in the UK and you are 7 hours ahead of me.
Yes. One last thing. So this one is actually a cry for help. Not a cry for help. An assistance, a need, asking. I don't know the right phrase. So I have drafted roughly 4 volumes of documents about my human society development project thing in Nigeria.
Right.
Okay. Roughly about 250 pages. The one problem is I have absolutely no idea where on earth I'm going to find the money or how to raise the money to get the project started, because money seems to be the problem that we're facing nowadays. And I have been liaisoning with my cool brothers on the ground, and they are very happy with the documents I have sent to them with regards to education, communal development, basic necessity, requirements and needs, and sort of all of the stuff that doesn't require huge amounts of staffing, because I have no idea how I'm going to get 500 people that are willing to come down to the south of the country and spend a ridiculous amounts of time helping strangers they've never met. So the aim is to build some of the infrastructure and teach people there, who will then teach other people, and so on and so forth, so we can cascade. We've already got the land, we've already got the deed to the land. The only thing that we're missing is the money.
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's chat.
I have no idea where to begin.
Okay. yeah, so if you have ideas or thoughts and you want to reach out to Frozo and help with that initiative back in Nigeria, then feel free to do that. Appreciate you, Frozo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy my fish now. I have fish to go buy.
All right. Have a good one. All right. Bye-bye. Okay, so really quickly, you guys, for those of you all who said that you all don't know, thanks, Janelle. I don't even know if I set any goals today. I don't think I did, to be honest. I said no gifting goals today, but I think there might have been some left over from yesterday. So I appreciate you guys for doing the TikTok gifts. You know, TikTok likes it when you do that, for sure. And it is not unnoticed or unappreciated. I'm extremely grateful. And before you say anything, I went to the doctor today. I've had the cough for several months. I got some medicine on board, but I just started taking them this morning. So, you know. All right. Okay, folks, here we go. A storm foretold. Yeah, I did honey tea yesterday, Petal. Swear to God, twice. It is not for lack of honey and tea and anything, y'all. Okay, so there was a film crew that there was a Dutch filmmaker who teamed up with Roger Stone to do a documentary, joined up with Roger Stone towards the end of 2018. And he was with Roger Stone for the majority of the next 2 years and change until the end of Trump's term in January of 2021. And so what you see in this documentary is unfettered access. And you actually see him talk about when he originally planned Stop the Steal. Thanks for becoming a super fan, Cortez, which was actually in 2015. They have checks from 2015 to 2016. You actually see Roger Stone talking to Matt Gaetz, thanks to Janelle, about needing a pardon that first time over the failure to. Nope, Scotty, I take Zyrtec every day for lying to Congress about the Russia deal. It is a listen. You can't stream it here because they never got streamed. They were never granted streaming rights in the USA. There are people that will say you can watch it with a VPN. I don't know, maybe you can, but I own it. And the way that I came to own it was really simple. In the middle of the January 6th hearings in 2023, in the middle of those hearings, do you remember the clips that they were showing from a documentary, like them meeting at a parking garage and those types of things? That's from this documentary. You didn't see the whole thing, Sacred Space. There's only a trailer for it. That's all that's on YouTube. It's only the trailer for it. And so when that was happening, at that time I was on Twitter, and one of the guys from the Lincoln Project said, "Oh my gosh, if you think these clips are horrific, then you should see the whole thing." And I was like, "Where can I see the whole thing?" And Christoph, the actual filmmaker, tweeted me back, and he said, "We're trying to get streaming rights, but until we do, if you want to be notified when we do, then sign up for this email list." So I did. Right. I told Steve about it and told him where to go do it, and then they streamed it. And so I have shown it, I want to say at least 8 times in the last 2 years. And I do not stream it. I host a watch party because I own it. Okay. And because it has not been given streaming rights in this country, I do not stream this documentary. What I will do is host a watch party for the documentary that I own. So what happened is they weren't given streaming rights, but they struck a deal to be able to purchase it on Vimeo for $14.99. So I did. And I'm glad I did, because they then took it down. And so now you can't buy it anymore, but I still have access to it because I own it. So I will be showing that documentary again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will need to go to my link tree and click the link and sign up to attend. You will get an email within an hour before the movie is supposed to start with the link to join. When you sign up, you are agreeing, no, Gigi, this is a documentary that does not have streaming rights in this country. It was filmed between 2018 and 2021, where this film crew was with Roger Stone from October 2018 all the way through January 6th and through Trump's last day in office. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When you register, there's a note that says you are agreeing to not record in part or in full any of this documentary. So don't fuck around, folks. But I'm telling you, I have watched it a ton of times, and many people, you can watch it 3, 4, 5 times and still find new information that just makes your jaw drop. So anyway, I do that so that everybody has the opportunity to see it that comes in contact with me. I believe everybody should. So, yeah, it won't be the same link, Veronica. Every time it's a new link. Every time. So, yeah. So, Barry, I see that you are still in the chat, but not having requested. So here's what I'm going to offer to you, sir, is you've been invited to join the panel, and I'm going to ask that you do that rather than be distracting in the comments. It's not beneficial when you just have individual little conversations with different people instead of the host, because that gives the appearance that you're not here to have a really good faith conversation, but rather that you're here to distract. No, Indigo, the Google form is the way to register. Folks, listen, I make this available to people for free. I don't charge people for it. I don't do anything for it. I provide the registration form. I then download everybody that has registered, so I can send you all. I then send an email out to everybody, and then host the meeting, which is, the movie itself is 1 hour and 40 minutes long. We're usually together about 2 hours, and I do it for free. So that's the way to do it. I am absolutely not going to be trying to get chase down individual emails or individual messages from people. And that is not Project for the People. When you go to my link tree, it specifically says Roger Stone documentary viewing. That is the link that you want to fill out. And the reason why I make you sign up this way is because you will either sign up this way and agree to not record it, or you won't get an invite to see it. I'm sorry, folks, but I just don't trust people, and I cover my ass. There are people that I believe would do things that they're not supposed to do, and I'm not doing that. If you want to get access, you will get it because you do it through the form.
Can you sign up even if you're not in America?
Yep. As long as you can join a Google Meet.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of maybe signing up to get more detailed information. So when I do spread the words with the picture I showed you last time, I fixed it up actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you. I added the QR code. Oh, it doesn't show. Anyway, so now people can scan the QR code and go directly to the website and register.
We love that. So this is in my link tree. My link tree is in my bio. And the link to the Roger Stone documentary is about, there's Project for the People. There's a section on ICE detentions, deaths, and facts. There's some information around flock cameras. And then the very next link is the Roger Stone documentary viewing link. It is directly above the section of links to support Palestinians directly. We know folks that are in Gaza and in the West Bank directly. There's a section there where you can give directly to them through their links. And so the Roger Stone documentary viewing registration link is directly above the Palestinian support links. Okay. All right, folks. So you should be good to go. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go Scotty, Shimmy, Lucid, and then Azel Arts. And then I will bring some more folks up to the panel. Martin, listen, I don't do the, I'm at work and I can't talk thing. If you've got enough time to chat the way that you are chatting, sir, yeah, you are typing away like this is your damn job. So you can either join the panel or you'll be muted for being distracting. So, all right, Scotty, good afternoon, and how are you, friend?
Aloha nui loa mai. Ohana. I am well. I just wanted to put a little information out there that a lot of people don't seem to understand, and that all of our elected officials, all of our representatives, all of our city, county, military, police, fire, all of us are socialists. And we derive all of our benefit from the state and the government. The rest of the people in the United States, 99% of the people in the United States, is cruel capitalism. And that is the big lie that's been sold to everybody. The government was instituted by the people to protect the rights of the people. The sheriffs, who are supposed to be protecting the rights of the people because they are elected by the people, they don't protect the rights of the people. They seem to think that their job, not all of them, some of them, is to protect the right of the people in power. So once you can wrap your head around the fact that capitalism is an extreme danger to the rest of the world in the way it functions and its disproportionality to the masses. You know, whatever scare word that capitalists use, whether it's a socialist, or a communist, or whatever scare word that they want to dream up, the fact is, when you go to your churches and you provide tithings or whatever your individual liberties, you already recognize that we're all in this together, and that you are going to protect your tribe, your individual community, your religion, in order to sustain your community. So this lie that somehow the United States is built on capitalism, and that's the only way, it's completely and total a myth. Because all of us, and you have to keep Caesar's legions happy, and that's why these entitlements that we have that are perpetual and go on and on and on are we're paying for presidents, we're paying for vice presidents, we're paying for senators, and they're long gone, and yet these same senators and congressmen have the ability to manipulate the markets in order to get into the capitalist society with their socialist money that they receive and capitalize even more. But, the people that are the recipients of this are all our elected representatives, and they don't represent any single one of us, because they have a benefit that the rest of the nation doesn't, and that's 100% health care, and that is a basic human right, and these institutions that man makes to suppress the evils of man and his greed and his total contempt for anybody that doesn't believe what they believe. That's the problem. This handheld computer that I have in my hand is saving the world, actually, because they can't lie to us anymore. I've been lied to. For 50 years I was believing the same bullshit that everybody else was believing. You know, at least Lou came up here and he tried to understand. And I think Dani was able to get through some of the chinks in his armor. So it's important that this 89 days is going to determine the outcome for the rest of the world here in the United States. the travesty that's been happening to the Palestinian people and the people of Congo and the people and all around the world by us white supremacist colonizers that have created this dystopia in the world. I salute you, Dani. You're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it, Uncle Scotty. You know, I want everybody to remember, especially if you're new to me, when I'm talking to somebody on the panel, do I hope that the person on the panel, that we find some sort of connection and some sort of understanding? I do. I also am not only doing it for the person that's on the panel. There's oftentimes hundreds of other people that are in here at that time that are listening. And so I say this all the time about doing this type of work, the work that all of you all are doing in your communities and with your friends and across the board. You have to do the work without being attached to the outcome. And we've been taught that there has to be some sort of result. We're supposed to be able to get the result in order to feel good about what we've done. And that's what feeds our ego. And what we have to do is we have to separate our ego from it. It's not about me. It's not about whether somebody changes their mind in that moment. It's not about any of that. It's simply about doing the work in good faith to the best of your ability at that moment and that time, and then releasing yourself of any expectation of what's going to happen afterwards. Right? And so that's the part when people ask me a lot of times, how do you do what you do? How do you have the conversations that you have? That's a large part of it. I could not come here every day and get on this app and on these apps and talk to people and have these conversations if I needed to know that they were getting it, if I needed to see the actual evidence of the payoff. Now, I do get to see it. A lot of times I do. But if that were the requirement, it would negatively impact my ability to show up freely. And so that's the part that all of us need to remember. This is why, and I keep talking about this, it is not just about our politics of the moment. It's not just about policies and elections. It is about who we are as individual people, as a whole society. And I've said this before, and I will keep saying it. We are not okay, folks. If we were okay, this would not be the society that we've created, right? For-profit prison systems would not be the thing. For-profit healthcare would not be the thing if we were okay. And if we were operating from a place of abundance and fullness, we wouldn't do that. So just saying, remember that whenever I'm in here and I'm talking to someone and you get frustrated, you're like, he's not fucking getting it. Y'all be tickling me sometimes. So I'm like, if y'all don't settle down, y'all be more offended and hurt than me at how people are showing up. And I'm like, if I'm not upset, y'all don't need to get upset, right? So follow that lead. Like, okay. All right. So, all right, Shimmy. How you doing, sis? Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop. Welcome. What you want to share? Shimmy, shimmy.
You have such a bad timing. I just put like a whole burger in my mouth. Wait, give me a second.
Go ahead and eat. I'll come back to you. Lucid finally got wherever Lucid needed to go. So let me what you got.
Hi, Dani. Hi, Danikins. Okay. Can you hear me? Let's start with that.
Yep.
Okay. I have a person in my life that I care very deeply about and who does not give a rat's ass about politics. That's okay, but now it's come to the time where, you know, the decisions that have been made are affecting everybody nationally. And I keep getting asked questions. Well, why is the gas prices so high? Why are the groceries? I didn't realize how expensive it was. So every time I come back to it, it turns into a political conversation that this individual does not want to have. And it brings me immense frustration because I don't have the patience that you have. I don't have nearly as much knowledge that you have. And last night we were having a conversation and I finally kind of got like fed up. And I simply said, you need to listen to Dani. And it eventually turned into, well, hey, how about I personally speak with Dani? Which I'm excited for that to happen, except for the schedules are a little opposite. He doesn't get off work until 8 o'clock at night, and I know by then you're not doing lives, and he's not an early bird, so it would probably be a weekend thing. I know sometimes you hop online during the weekends, but just to give you some context, he's a philosopher, and it's hard to keep up with the conversations because he tries to tie everything back to philosophy, and in reality, I understand everything is philosophical. I get it, but that's not my major. My politics isn't even my major. I sit here every day, and I do my best to learn, and I do my best to apply, and I do my best to teach. But he kind of grew up within a bubble, and right? He thinks that everybody can be racist, not white people can be racist. He doesn't understand why they say death to America. He doesn't understand. His father voted for Trump. He hears what is being whispered in his father's ear. He did watch the Roger Stone with me. It's like kind of like pulling teeth, a little bit like James, but not that bad. But it's just like, okay, if we're sitting here and I'm asking him to look up stats, it's like an AI overview, and it's not, in fact, reliable sources, right? And that's why I said, you know what, you just need to listen to Dani. And he said, I'll do you one better. I'll talk to Dani. And this is going to be like you said, like an Easter egg hunt, like walking a child. It's very slow steps, and I don't think realizes that he is Islamophobic. I don't think he realizes. It's just like ignorance is bliss, right? So I would like to ask you, and that's how I led in the beginning, the first time I was on, I want to have a conversation about having a conversation. Are you at any point, do you see yourself hopping on your live over the weekend in the afternoon? Because I will find time for this man to sit down. He don't even like TikTok. He's following one person, and it's me. So he can't. It's going to have to be through my profile. But do you have time? Because I genuinely think that the only way I'm going to get through to this man, to bring us some peace in our life, for him to fully understand the extent, the history, and he doesn't believe in socialism either. And I tried explaining to him all of the money that's been spent on the reflecting pool, on the removal of the Rose Garden, on the war, on the West Wing, on just helicopter flights that were unnecessary. And he still doesn't think, he doesn't even believe that universal health care is good. You got to break it down, and it's gonna take a minute. So I didn't know. I just wanted to ask you: is that something that you would be willing to do?
So the short answer is yes. A longer answer is what time on the weekends or what time in the evening, and what days are better.
Friday or Saturday. He's not working Friday or Saturday, and we'll be doing chores the whole day. So as long as it's not the morning, and probably maybe mid-afternoon, early evening is if it's good for you. But I know it's going to take a hot minute to speak with them, and it's going to be a difficult conversation.
Okay, give me 1 second. What is the question? What social media you handle? So it means you're Elizabeth Zavala 769. That's your social media handle. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so here's what I would be willing to do. Because Saturday is a no-go. One of my best friends is back in town from work, and she and I have planned an outing for Saturday night. I could not tell you the last time I've been. Yes, I can. It's been months and months and months. So she and I are going somewhere Saturday evening. So I will let you choose. When you say early evening, what time do you mean? Do you mean 5? Do you mean 6? What do you mean?
Yeah, five or six. But Sunday's also wide open for us around 5 or 6 as well.
Okay, because here's my thought process. Is in your Eastern or what time zone?
Central.
You're Central, so you're an hour behind me. Okay. Yeah, okay, because that will make a difference. So here's what we will do. We will do Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
No, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Your time.
Oh,
So
okay.
6 p.m. Eastern. 6 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. And here's what I will do. I will do a specific Q&A for friends and family. So this is going to be a Danikin's friends and family type of live. And so if we can, Cam, can we set up in the Discord, maybe if people have folks that they know they want to bring, and those people are willing to get on a panel and have a chat with me, can we get someone, can we put it in the Discord so that I know who those people are? So it's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. And right, that way, right, Jeff, they'll make a roster. And that way, yeah, Gumps. And that way I will know who I'm gonna be talking to ahead of time. And then I don't get inundated with folks in the chat. You know what I mean? Or in the request. So
out of curiosity, would this, so if it's for friends and family, is that something that's going to be streamed on YouTube? Because I would love for his father to hear this conversation.
Somebody on YouTube just asked me the same thing. So
okay.
Yep, I'm happy to do I'm happy to stream it across the board. And I'll make like a little flyer about it. Just if I could get like a quick number. If you believe that you have someone that's going to be willing to come on Sunday and get on a panel and have a conversation with me, can you put a 1 in the chat for me right now? I know I've got Lucid. I saw Renee say she has someone. Space, J. Owen, Jamie. Who is this? Sunflower Fish. Okay, so here's what's going. Everybody's like, wait, what's going on? Okay, so here's Bradley. Okay, you got someone, but we'll just listen. Okay. All right. So far, that's about 8 of you all. Okay, and so here's what we're going to do. Is what Lucid has asked me is that there's somebody that she's been trying to talk to and trying to get that person to listen and whatever, but that person's schedule is opposite the times that I'm live. And she just found it very difficult. And let me just say this to you all. That's not uncommon. It is oftentimes difficult to have conversations with the people that are closest to us, right? Because there's already these preconceived notions and you bring all of that baggage with you to the conversation. So sometimes it's easier when it's just somebody that, like, listen, that joker can get mad at me and I'm not going to give a damn. I ain't got to see that joker ever again in my life, right? And so sometimes it's easier when people who don't have a dog in the fight really get in and have the conversation, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live on Sunday, specifically Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will do it from 6 to 9. That'll give me 3 hours. And I will specifically grab a list of folks. So right now I have Lucid, I have Renee H415, I have Space Ranger, I've got J. Owen. I've got a name I tried to write really fast that I can't read that starts with J. I've got Sunflower Fish. I've got Janelle. Yeah. Who else did I miss? Jamie, yeah, girl, that was you. I'm so glad you knew. I tried to write it really fast, not looking. So what I'm asking, Cheryl, so what I'm asking is if you have somebody that you believe will come on Sunday and want to join the panel specifically to talk with me. And even if they come and just listen, they might benefit from the conversations I'm having with other people. So right now I have 9 people on the list. No, James don't count. Now, if James wants to bring his damn wife, I will talk to his wife for sure. I would talk to his wife offline, because just saying. But I'm just kidding. You know, here's the thing.
Can we just exclude James from the conversation?
So listen, as frustrating as he can be, here's my thing. If nothing else, he brings up good topics that other people learn from. You know what I mean? So I just leave it at that.
Okay.
And look,
He makes me tired sometimes.
not you going, okay. So I don't want, don't give my email to anybody. This is your responsibility to bring your people to TikTok on that day. Bring your people, and I will happily have an in-depth conversation with them.
Dani ain't gonna go around door knocking on email. New people over here.
Yeah, I can't do door knocking on email. On your accounts or on their accounts, however y'all do it. If they have their own TikTok accounts, they are welcome to. Is he cut off? No. That's okay, Jamie. It's going to be on YouTube and all the things. So listen, if you bring her and she will watch on YouTube, that's fine. I will put the link in the chat and she can join the panel on YouTube as well. Okay? What I would love is don't tell me anything else about them. I actually don't want any background about the individuals other than I already know a little bit about Lucid's friend. I don't want background. And the reason why I don't want any background, thank you, Cam, is because I don't want to go into the conversation with any preconceived notions about who they are or what they think like or how they act. I don't want to know anything. No, it's whatever the topics are that they want to discuss. Yes, Cordeliz, it will be. Yeah. So it'll be available afterwards as well. Sunday will be on YouTube as well. And this will be a great opportunity for folks to just see, like, when I talk about just having the conversations. And, you know, it's different than, because sometimes the conversations that I enter into here spontaneously, sometimes they are harder than the ones that I'm about to have, because those folks come in meaning to be opposition, meaning to be, you know what I mean? Like, and so there's a thing that I got to get over before we can even get to the real conversation. Like that, well, like what you saw with Lou today, right? Lou had a position and he had a part that he believed he was playing. And it took a good minute to even get through that bullshit to get to the real conversation. And then when it got to the real conversation, you saw him come all the way down. So sometimes if these folks know, hey, listen, I'm coming and I'm willing to have a conversation with Dani, right? And we're just gonna engage in a respectful dialogue, then that gives me a level of starting place. Doesn't mean that they won't have any resistance, because of course they will. But it means I'm not started from an intentional wall. You know what I mean? So yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. We'll do it Sunday. Yeah, we'll do it Sunday, 6 p.m. And Cam said, if you have somebody, a family or friend that you want to bring to have them talk to me, then message Cam. And I appreciate you for doing that, Cam. So yeah, I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you. You
Yeah.
are the best. I appreciate you so
You're
much.
welcome. No worries. We got 80 some damn days. Shit. So
Right.
yeah, we got to do what we got to do. So, okay. Sounds good. Appreciate you,
Thank
Lisa.
you. Bye.
Shimmy girl, you done with that burger yet?
Yeah, it's down in my stomach.
Okay.
Exactly what I did. No, but the thing is, the whole day I didn't have anything, and then I was like, maybe I'll have the time to put the last bite in before she comes to me. And then as soon as I put it in my mouth, you're like, shit, and I was like, oh my god.
Of course, because that's the way it happens. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, always. For me, I was mostly boosting, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then when Lou was up here spewing his feelings,
His feelings. But I mean, at least he said, I mostly go off my feelings. And I was like, that's not really a good idea.
he confessed to it. Exactly, he confessed to it. And then he was like, I don't do. You are very smart. You have the facts and things to base what you're saying. For me, I go by my feelings. And I was like, oh, thank God he acknowledged it.
At least he knows. Right.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of things that are in the Sharia are literally in a lot of laws. Like Sharia law is basically, no thievery, no murder, no whatever, all of those kind of laws that are in majority of laws in a lot of countries. And also in Sharia law, it's like you're supposed to follow the majority of that country's laws. So if I live in UK, for example, I can just implement Sharia law over there. I need to follow the laws over there as long as they don't go against the core teachings of Islam,
Right. And that's the thing that I think it's interesting when so Papa, stop it. When you're just being ridiculous. You're being genital mutilation. What do you call circumcision? Because I believe that's in the Bible. There are some people that would say circumcision is genital mutilation, Papa.
There's scientific proof that it can be medically benefit for the individual that goes through it,
Oh, I know. My point is he wants to make it seem like Islam is for genital mutilation, blah 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 blah. And bro, miss me with it, because literally they talk about circumcision in the Bible. So I'm just not. Yeah. I'm just saying. Yeah. And I just want to be clear about something, folks. What you're discussing isn't in the Quran. It's not part of Islam. Yeah. So when you're talking about trying to take pleasure away from women, that's not something that is mentioned in the Quran to do. There are different cultures.
The mutilation thing that they do in Somalia, for example, that's not in the Quran.
Correct. That
is a cultural thing.
Right.
For them to, stitch it up to I don't know what the purpose is.
Right.
For the male pleasure, I think, or something. I don't know. I don't want to go into that.
Right. Because of TikTok. But this is the thing that it is not. No, it's not, Papa. You're lying. The Quran is Islam. So in case you don't know, the Quran is like the Bible for Islam. So when you say, but it's in Islam, no, it's not. No, it's not. So just so that everybody understands this, okay? There are people that practice Christianity, and in that practice of Christianity, they marry little girls and have cults. Like Jeff Warren's and David Koresh, right? But those people do not represent the entirety of Christianity, right? That is their cultural practice. That is what they do. Okay? So just to be clear, when you say, oh, well, this country, in their culture and their tradition, they do female genital mutilation. That is, and they happen to also practice their version of Islam. that does not represent the entirety of Islam. So what we're not going to do is pretend that everyone practices Islam the same, because everyone does not practice Christianity the same. Christianity has over 14,000 denominations. So we understand that people practice the same religion differently. We understand that. We understand that one individual culture's practice is not a monolith for how everybody else practices that same religion. And so what I'm not going to let you do is spread Islamophobia with misinformation and be intentional about it, because you are absolutely being intentional about the lies that you are telling.
It's the same with marriage with underage children, you know?
Right.
That is okay. Back in the days, the society looked different, and it was very common everywhere, even in Europe, you know.
Yes.
Even in the Western countries, to marry children, to marry young women.
Yes.
Yeah, the younger the better for some, you know. But in Islam, it has very specific criteria. Like you have to.
Papa, it is happening today in Christianity. Papa, it is happening today in Christianity. In the United States of America, I believe it is around 33 or 34 states that allow child marriage, underage marriage in this country. So miss me with that bullshit.
Oh, he means back in the day it happened way, but we learned from it, and now today it happens in Islam. Have you seen the society today? Maybe it's not marriages, but they're literally trafficking children for the same purpose. Like it happens everywhere in mass, mass, you know, proportions.
Yeah, Papa can't answer no more because Papa's muted. Papa can't answer no more. I got over it. I told y'all I'm not doing the Islamophobia. I'm not doing it. And this is my thing, folks. I don't want to hear anything about what men are doing to women or girls in Black and brown countries unless we're going to talk about what men are doing to women and girls in white Western countries. I want y'all to stop acting like men don't treat women and children horribly around the fucking world. So we are not going to pretend like that's a thing that only happens in Black and brown countries that practice Islam, when we know for sure it happens in white Western countries that practice Christianity.
Yeah, those come from society norms, you know, misogynistic norms.
That's the intersectionality of sexism and misogyny. And by the way, y'all, it is this obsession with younger women, of girls, this obsession with girls. This is what drives our entire beauty industry. This is what drives our entire beauty industry. Men like children. Many men, not all, many men have been brought up in a society that teaches them to be attracted to youth. To the younger the better.
Yeah, but it's the same. Have you seen in South Korea, for example, where they have the IQ and where they speak like a children, and they're like, oh, go.
They infantilize them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so
that's what the men over there go off on.
Yeah, this is not about Islam. This is about men and misogyny and just y'all nasty. I'm just saying. So it's really important in this space. Little Legal Honey, I know you mean well, but when I tell you that I have done the Manuka honey coffee drops, I tell you, I have done Russian tea, I've done regular honey. I've done it all. I literally went to the doctor today, folks, because I've had this cough for almost 3 months now. So I have antibiotics and steroids on board and all the things. So I promise y'all, I have done all the natural things possible. Okay? But anyway, I know y'all try to help out. But good God. So I just want to lay that out for everybody is that I'm not going to let you come in this space and talk about something that's being perpetrated against women and children, and you pretend like it's only in black and brown countries or being practiced by Muslim people, when I don't know how much you know about your white European ancestors, and if you want to talk about what's being done today, just go look.
It's in their culture from way back. They've always unalived each other. That's the culture they have, especially Europe. They think they're like their model, role models of the world. They're the worst.
Right. So
it seems to a lot of so-called third countries or perspective or religions that they are better at a lot of things today than what they were before. For example, hygiene, basic hygiene, for God's sake.
Right. Give me 1 second. Okay, that's my daughter. Okay, so and I just want to kind of I shared a website. I think it's in my link tree. But in the UK, you can still marry children at 16. Same in the US. There are some states in the United States that do not have minimums. If you really want to get serious and looking at these types of things, go to Human Rights Watch. Go look at Girls Not Brides. This is not something that is one particular issue. It is like a lot. So if I go to, for example, you can go to like Girls Not Brides. Let me just see if they've got this one updated or not. No, they don't. Dang, where's my other? There was another one that I had. Hold on. I got to find the website for you guys because I want to give it to you again. And then I would just love for someone who is concerned about children being married off to share with me what you're doing about it. Just saying. Oh, there it is. I believe this is the one I went to. freedomunited.org. You can literally look by state. And it'll tell you what those laws are. And for every single state. So, for example, in Arizona, in 2025, one of your representatives, Lorena Austin, introduced a bill to end all marriage before 18 without exception. It is still pending in the House. The legal minimum for age in Arizona is 16. 16 and 17-year-olds in Alaska can also be legally married. I think it's wild to me. Colorado, it's 16. It is wild to me that this is something that we know that they can't vote. We know that they can't drive a car. We know that they can't do all of those different things, and yet they can be forced to marry. It's crazy, but that's part of the patriarchy, right? Ohio is 17. What, baby? Okay, she'll be here in a minute. You get your shoes and socks on so you can go with her to get Bella off the bus. So anyway, it's just not a thing. And let me just tell y'all, mods, I just want to kind of give you all this. Moving forward, I won't entertain any Islamophobia. If somebody comes in and they say something like that about Islam, you could just go ahead and mute. I'm not doing it. I won't give air to it in this space, and I won't allow it to exist in this space. I'm not doing it. Like real talk. I'm just not. I know that that is something that is going to crank up as we get towards the midterms. And I'm just not entertaining it. White men can take their hatred and go somewhere else. And I said white men because the vast majority of the people that come in here spouting that nonsense are white men. Okay, so you can take your false outrage and concern about women and children and miss me with it, because I have yet to see white men do anything to really protect women and children, right? If you were interested in doing that, we'd have the Epstein files, all of them. But you're not interested in doing that. If you were interested in doing that, the ERA would be part of the Constitution. If you were interested in doing that, we would have universal health care. But you're not interested in doing that, right? So I'm just not here for any of it, folks. And I am going to hold you accountable for those types of things. So.
But it's because you can't have a constructive dialogue with them, you know?
Right.
If somebody's not willing to learn, and it's just, you know the meme, a white person looking in the mirror thinking, no, yeah, someone thinking they're black or white or whatever, and then they live in that bubble. It's hard for you to have a constructive conversation and kind of inform them, and them being informed, and them, evolving mentally. When they don't want to, it's easier to point at someone else doing the fault, even though you're doing it yourself.
Right, 100%. And that's my thing. I'm just not doing it. So, and by the way, you guys, when we talk about parental consent, that can be the same thing as parents forcing you into a marriage. Parental consent doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the kid wants to do. So, yeah, if I can.
Yeah, but it goes the same way with for example, if a child is biologically male but feels like a woman, and want to change
the gender, the sex,
the gender. Thank you. There's a lot of people that shouldn't even be parents, because sometimes the children haven't signaled these things or felt these things. They just, for example, children are gonna be children. They're gonna play all kinds of games, and it shouldn't be genderized. Like, oh, if they play like this, they're mostly like a guy or like a girl. I think it's so stupid. And a lot of people from infancy already decide that, oh, my child feels like this, and they already decide upon them, and they make all these medical procedures on them and destroy their life.
But that doesn't happen.
I'm saying,
but it doesn't happen, Shimmy. So let me just tell you, you cannot physically transition in the United States as the process is so extensive. The vast majority of people never do it. When you talk about children, it's not a thing. It is so rare.
I'm talking about the procedure. I'm talking about already starting the procedure by, for example, giving them medication or like hormones.
They won't do that. They won't do it. So listen, this is the thing that people need to understand. Children are not being given hormone suppressant medication just because they say they want to transition. It's not what happens. Literally, they have to go through psychological evaluations for months and months and months. They see physicians. Like, there's a whole team of people that are involved. They go through extensive therapy. It is not something that happens. And so that is something that the Republican Party, the GOP, the same people spreading shit about Islamophobia are the same people spreading shit about trans individuals. And it doesn't happen. The same way that you hear them say things about Islam and you're like, that's not what happens. That's the same thing when it comes to the LGBTQ community, especially the trans community. It's not what happens.
Then it's my bad.
Yeah.
It's just that you've heard so much of it and read so much of it online, so it's hard to kind of pinpoint what's real and not,
Yeah.
Propaganda.
Yeah.
So I'll take that back. It's misinformation on my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm just. It really is. You. So like one of my good friends is a pediatrician. The process is so extensive, especially when because hormones are so hormones are like, they just start to kick off when they get to be that 9-10 years of age, right? And that period of time is right. HRT, hormone replacement therapy, is generally not prescribed to children at all. And so, see, even Cheryl saying my kid had to wait until they were 18, and they make them go.
Maybe we're talking about more manipulating children mentally. Maybe that's the reason. Like,
It's still not a thing. Like, if you,
okay.
yeah, it's not like, I don't know of any parent that tries to manipulate their child into becoming trans. I don't know a single. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just don't know of it at all. Hella, Raja, at all. And what this administration does is they demonize parents that want to create a safe environment where the child doesn't feel othered or excluded if they do feel different, if they do feel whatever. And then what a lot of people don't understand, and I talk about this quite a bit, is that, you know, there is a portion of the population that fall into the category of DSD and intersex individuals. Those are individuals who do not fall into the most common categorizations of male and female, right? They just don't. So whether it's someone that has, instead of an XY chromosome or an X chromosome, they might just have an X and none, not like nothing else after that, just the X. And so I've actually had one of those individuals on my panel. It's called Turner syndrome. And I was talking about it. This was before the 2024 election. And she came up and she was so upset because they didn't find out about it until she reached her early teen years, when you're going through your hormone stuff, and her hormones got tested and they found out she was missing that other component. So her reproductive organs and her external reproductive genitalia, they are female reproductive, right? So she's always identified as a girl. She doesn't have the hormones, though, to do all the things that she needs to do as a girl. And so now, the way that our government is operating, for her to get her medication, which is hormone replacement therapy, that is gender affirming care. Not because she desires to transition to anything.
No, I know. There's a lot of medical that you can't control.
But
you know, I kind of feel sorry for some people, because that is it's not a burden, but it's a struggle. You know, also that they have to go through, and even us as women can go through hormonal imbalance, and it can be hell. So I can't even imagine what they are going through. You know.
Yeah, and the thing that's so bad about it is, so like we had a situation so we're in my hometown, but on the Virginia side of town, you can look up CVS, Bristol, Virginia. The pharmacist denied a teenager gender affirming medication because they assumed that because the medication was hormone replacement therapy, that child was wanting to transition, whatever. And the reality is that the child has a medical condition that requires that care. And they refuse that. And you're not supposed to do that. Legally, if you have a religious belief that keeps you from dispensing a medication, you are required to have somebody else fill it or send them to another location. And instead they just turned them entirely. And it made national news several years back. And so I would just encourage you to check out some of the information. Maybe I'll put together a section in my link tree specifically about this, because it's not a thing. And they are using that and weaponizing it against children and parents here in the States to manipulate voters. And it's just a thing that's not happening. Yeah. So Yeah. So, and guys, listen, she literally took it back and said, my bad, I didn't know. Shimmy also does not live here in the States.
You know, sometimes when you do, when you try to connect it to another example, you know,
Yep.
I thought I was doing that, but I know a lot about this, you know, some conditions that are included in this topic. And that's why I don't talk about it, because I don't have, you know, the best knowledge on it or the deepest knowledge on it. But I just said it in that sort of, you know, excitement thing.
Right.
And when I realized that it wasn't a right one to use,
yeah,
that's why I took it back. And I didn't mean it in the sense that it came across in the comments, and that's why I apologized and I took it back, you know?
Right. 100%. Yeah. And we get that, right? So, and listen, you know, I am aware of, so I talk about it all the time, Shimmy, in the Black American community. There's a lot of folks that have negative views about people being gay or queer or trans. It's one of the reasons why Black trans women are some of the most highly targeted and assaulted people and unalived people in terms of like the rate and the per capita, right? What I hope that we are all able to do is I hope that we are able to have conversations, share information, create understanding, and instead of agreement, we just look for understanding and acceptance, and then leave the rest of it to the parents, the medical professionals, and the children, right? And I think the medical professionals is one that people leave out a lot. This is a
yeah, they focus a lot on the feelings, like, oh, they want it, they choose it, and some people don't choose it, they have to
right,
basically be able to live daily, you know.
And even people that do choose it, they choose it through lots of therapy, lots of communication with their physicians, and it's a lot, folks, that people have to go through before they are granted the ability to do an actual physical transformation. Most people don't. Most people do not transition physically. It takes years, and it's expensive as fuck. Just so people know too, it's also expensive as hell. So, but I appreciate you, Shimmy, as always.
I appreciate more.
Nah, not possible. Yeah, you're welcome. Appreciate you, friend. Okay, so listen, folks. I've got 15 minutes left today, because I say 15, 30, whatever it is. And I want to circle back and talk about, by the way, Danikins, can y'all let me know, are we when is the Pally panel best for you guys, Danikins? Can Danikins give me I did not just come on. I am at the 3.5 hour mark. I got you, Titus. Rose, you're good with tomorrow? How is everybody else feeling about a Pally panel tomorrow? Friday for you too? Okay, that's tomorrow. I know you're kidding. Y'all, not Mila running around in circles around the couch. Just doing laps. Doing laps around the couch. Tomorrow, okay. Yeah, so what we will do is, so here's, right, 100%. She's doing something. Listen, and I am not mad at it. Go ahead, girl. Do that. have some fun with your sister, get some food in your belly, and take them nighttime vitamins. And she has school tomorrow. So listen, this is the other thing. Mila does have school tomorrow. So here's what I want to do. I want to do Black as Fuck Friday tomorrow, and I want to get on at 9 in the morning. I want to try 9 a.m. and see if that makes a difference in terms of viewers and participation and people having conversations. So I want to try 9 a.m. and see how that goes, and then still have the Pally panel at 1 p.m. And so that way, that 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have finished Black AF Fridays. I know, Titus. I know it's early as fuck for you. I love you, though. I'm just saying, I noticed a difference. Like the other day when I started at 9 a.m. instead of 10, we had almost double the people in the room, right? And we've got less than 90 days. Oh, I bet, Jeff. I bet. So here's what I'm starting to do, Jeff, in addition, is we're going to start doing 2-a-days, a couple of days a week. And those will be in the evening. And the reason why is we got 89 days until the midterms. So that means more time having conversations, more time getting information out, more time, trying to create understanding and connection and combating the misinformation and disinformation that is out there. Okay. Good gosh, Jeff. This is your Jeff. This is your job now, Jeff. So that's what we're going to do. Okay. And so I think what I'm going to do is have Tuesdays and Thursdays. No, that won't work because of Project for the People. So here's what I think I'm going to alternate. 1 week, it'll be Tuesday and Thursdays where we have an evening live. And then the next week, which will be the week that we have Project for the People, it'll be a Monday and Wednesday evening live. Okay, so they'll alternate in that way. All right. So listen, I'm going to get it ready. Bella is about to be out of school. I'm going to get some tea and some honey and sit my ass down somewhere for a minute. I have things to email out. So if you have registered for Project for the People, please check your email later on this evening. If you are in Discord and you are a subscriber, those the new subscription categories and things are almost all done. So be looking. So yeah, I will, Tina. So that's what I want to do. And then I got to cook dinner and do all the things and get everybody ready. Okay. So, yeah. Do we have a meeting tonight? No. Project for the People is a week from today. Project for the People is a week from today. All right. All right. So love y'all, mean it. Appreciate you greatly. And I will see you all later. All right. I'll see you all tomorrow. Pally panel. Shimmy, real quick, can you write in Arabic in the chat that the Pally panel is tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? See you guys.